All right, everybody, welcome to Slap Son. Not much to say except huge podcast this week. PowerSlap 12 is just around the corner, so we're talking to all the strikers we can, preparing for the event before we fly out to Vegas ourselves. Don't be shy. If you see us, come high five us. And then we also have a very special guest in Cyrus fees, Mr. 100, coined by Conor McGregor himself. He is with us. We talk all things BKFC. And if you want a masterclass on how to pursue a specific niche in a career, this man literally lays it out for you. Pay attention. It's inspiring. He gets the job done, and we are very glad to have him on the program. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoy it.
3, 2, 1, yeah, that's a knockout. They call me kamikaze, put you in heaven's lobby. All gas, no brakes, you can never stop me. Nah, no, you can never stop me. Yeah, cause I'm the PowerSlap king.
Slap Son, baby!
Of course.
Okay, let's do it. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the man in the building, from EFC to BKFC to his family to virtual reality. We got the man Cyrus fees.
Oh my gosh, dude.
What's up?
You got me amped up. I like it.
Dude, let's do this. Hey, people, we got one life, so we got to scream. You feel me?
That's the truth. Ain't that the damn truth, bro? I'm with you on that 100%.
Dude. So, but bro, I woke up, snow all over the ground.
Yes.
So,
same.
Oh, where you at?
Johnson City, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay, I'm up in Utah. So,
Okay.
but what usually takes 5 minutes took like an hour and a half to get all the kids to school and shit and come back. And
Yep.
I was coming up the hill to talk with this guy, and my car wouldn't make it up. So I had to go back and get my Jeep from my sister's house and drive the fuck back up. So
Yeah.
we've what I'm saying, Cyrus, is we've earned this today. I'm very excited we've
Absolutely.
earned this.
I agree.
Well, hey, dude.
100%. Yeah, it's a snow day here. Here in Tennessee, if there's even talk of snow, they shut down school. So, I mean, they just boom, shut it down. I grew up in the Midwest where like it had to be pretty damn legit for you to miss school. Like it had to be some serious, like icy, crazy stuff. But here, like I said, they even hear that maybe 2 hours away there was snow. They just shut it down, done. You don't even have to think about it. Personally, I love it because I love having my kids around the house because I do travel a lot. So anytime they have a day off from school or it's summertime, like I'm happy just to kind of be in the same house as them all day long and just be dad and just have fun with them and stuff. So it never bothers me. It bothers a lot of other people around here. They get pissed off about it and they're like, why aren't they going to school? And I'm like, listen, I'm cool with it. Like they can be off school. We'll chill. It's always a good time.
No, I can validate that, man. We just did a short documentary on the striker. His name's Lucas Simons, and he's from Dallas. And he sent me this weird text about like, hey, man, just so you know, it's kind of shut down. We had a little bit of snow. And I'm similar. So I grew up in Utah. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't care. Let's go. So go to the airport. And they canceled our flight, had us go to L.A. And then when we flew in, there was snow on the ground. I'll give them that. There was snow on the ground. But it was like fucking zombies and COVID. Like nothing was moving. It was very quiet. It was very eerie. So, but I'm with you, man. Anytime that, even if it's a snow day, spending time with the kids and stuff, I'm lucky enough to stay at home most of the time, So yeah, I can say that I like that as well. You get to know them a little bit better when they're not at school for those hours,
Yeah. No, well, I mean, you can get a lot more productivity, right? So, I mean, I find myself kind of being a Cyrus homemaker and just working around the house, which is cool. My wife works a full-time job at the VA. She's a nurse, so she kind of has that 9 to 5 job. Actually, more than that, was like 7 to 5 is what she works 4 days a week. And, so she has that job. And then I'm the guy that just gets to go float around to all these different cities and be in front of a crowd and have fun. You know what I mean? While she goes and toils away as a nurse. So that's something we've dealt with, but I love being at home when I am home. I love to be 100% present with the kids and just be here and be all the way in. I love that.
No, that's fantastic. I totally agree. So let's start digging in a little bit. So I watched your demo reel on YouTube. It was like put up there a long time ago. It looks like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot
you
of
know what I
stuff's
mean?
happened since then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just start there. How did you even find this world? Did it find you? And is the voice natural, or is that something you kind of worked on?
Yeah, you work on it. I mean, I naturally kind of have a bassy, loud voice, anyways. Like, just ask my wife. Like, she tells me to shut up all the time. She's like, "You're so loud," which I have a feeling you've probably heard that before too, because you you got a lot of volume in your voice.
Almost daily.
Like, God, can you
Yeah,
please?
I get told that dude, they try and be nice and tell me, Joe, your voice carries. Keep it down. We're the only
Yes.
ones in the room.
We'll be in the car in the garage, and I'll say something about the neighbors or whatever, you know, and she's like, Cyrus, please. I'm like, we're in the car in the garage. Like, my voice travels, it doesn't travel that damn much. But that being said, you know, I always liked the idea. I love WE, right? And I still do to this day. Now I really love it because my son's into it finally. But I always liked WWE. I always liked the ring announcer. I always liked the idea of being on television. Just as a kid, I was like, I want to be on television one day. You know, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I wanted to do that. So once I got through high school and figured out that I did have a voice and I could talk in front of people, then I got into college, and then I started finding these really small professional wrestling shows and just do the ring announcing. And I really didn't make money. I was just happy to be in the same building as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat or AJ Styles or whoever it might be that was coming through that day. So I got a lot out of that. You know, I was just excited to be there. And then I just graduated school, and I figured out a way to slowly make my way into the business and work my way up. So that's kind of how it happened. And it's been fun the whole way through, man. It's been a really cool world to be in, but it's definitely been a struggle and a journey for sure.
Yeah, and so when you say work your way up, for people that are watching or listening, what does that look like when you're an independent guy? You're not doing corporate America shit, but you still have to find your way to those levels. How does that work? Is it just networking?
Yeah, well, it's networking and just a lot of hustling and grinding, and you know, which is such a cliche thing to say. These, just grind, but it is a hustle, right? I mean, so for me, the way I did it is I kind of transitioned from professional wrestling over to MMA, just because wrestling was fun, but there was no money in it at that level. With MMA, I could at least make 100 or $200 on a show, you know, and that was better than making nothing, or, you know, or losing money on a trip, you know, paying $30 in gas to go somewhere and then not making anything, which that happened in the beginning. And, you know, it's all part of the journey. I always had another job. It's not like I was counting on that to pay the bills, but, you know, I started really, really low. And then I would go, at the time, mixedmartialarts.com was a really, really busy website. Like, it was just a great website. You could go on there and you could find out everything. So you could go on and see what the upcoming events were all around the nation, not just in your area. You could just go look. You could click on that event, and then you could see who the promoter is. And a lot of the time, they would have that promoter's contact information, whether it's an email or usually they straight up have their phone number there. So it was very, very accessible to where I could just reach straight out to a promoter, tell them what I can do and what I do, and then just, you know, be very persistent, hit them up. So that's kind of what I was doing for years. For 3-4 years, that's all I was doing, was like just grinding and trying to get on every show that I could, and just and offer something of value. And usually it was ring announcing, and then I went on to kind of learn every facet of it, from play-by-play to hosting to interviewing. It's just something that I learned as I went.
And did you know that you wanted to be sort of the call guy or the color commentator, not so much like a, you know, Bruce Buffer type?
Yeah, hold on. What, Cash? You're going to make mac and cheese. Do it. Wear it out. Sorry. He's just staring at me through my office door.
I had yesterday my boy came in. Nah, we'll edit it right. But yesterday my boy came in and he was holding this sign and it said TOLDAL and then the number 10. And he's staring right at me while I'm talking to KO Chris was on the other day. And
Okay.
I'm like, what? Like, I'm trying to see what it is. He spelled total wrong, first of all. It's TOTAL.
Sure, right? Yeah.
How am I supposed to know what he means when he's just staring at me? He's 10.
Yeah, that's funny. But, you know, as far as knowing whether I wanted to do, play by play and all that, initially it was just I wanted to be the ring announcer. Like I loved Howard Finkel, right? In the WWE.
Oh my
I was like,
God,
oh man,
yeah.
what a cool voice, I really dug it. So originally that was the plan. And then what I found is that I was starting to learn everything. So I'll try to cliff note it for you. But after I did a few shows in my area here in East Tennessee, one of the promoters came up to me, and I approached him actually, and I said, "Hey," I said, "all this stuff is cool what you're doing." I said, "We ought to put it on television somewhere, right?" I had already graduated college and I didn't have a gig yet in mass communications. It was kind of a hard thing to do, was trying to find your way. My school wasn't very equipped to like lead you right into the workforce, right? It was not like it was a big media school. It was just the school that I chose. So I didn't have a gig yet really in media. I was just DJing. And this guy was like, "Yeah, I agree. I want to put this on TV as well. Come with me tomorrow. I'm going to go meet with the guy." And I was like, "All right, cool." So we became pretty good buddies, and we decided to start this hour-long television show every week, public access, when that was more of a thing. It's not really as much of a thing anymore. People just throw everything on YouTube. But at the time, this was like maybe 2000, I don't know, 2010, maybe 2009, 2010. And public access was still a thing.
Really
So we
early
started a show. What's that?
Oh, I was just saying really early on as far as media is concerned.
Yeah. So we just took all this local footage and we would interview some local fighters, promoters, coaches every week. We got it completely financed through local sponsors. And then we would take the finished product, which was pretty solid. We had a good producer, and we would put it on not only YouTube, but we would put it on the underground on mixedmartialarts.com. Right. So we would just put it up there. Like, here's the link. We're talking about this, and this. And there wasn't a whole lot of shows that were doing that at the time. Really, the only one that was doing it was Inside MMA on Access TV at the time. That was pretty much the only show, unless UFC was doing something. So we were that show. And then I went on to reach out to international shows because I found out through mixedmartialarts.com, it's like, holy crap, there's shows all over the world every weekend. I didn't realize that, you know what I mean? Like, until I saw that, I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I could be getting highlights from South Africa and from Asia and Poland and Russia and Brazil. And I would just message these promoters and I'd say, "Hey, whenever your event's done, send me the highlights and I'll put them on my TV show and we'll put it up on YouTube and all this stuff." That's literally what we were doing. And we were getting stuff from local stuff in the US too, not just international. But the international stuff is kind of what built us up, built a following. And before you know it, we had a syndication deal in the Northeast on Cablevision, and they picked up the show. We had a Tough TV, which is like a satellite terrestrial type thing. It was like kind of like a Spike TV, but a lower level one. And we were on all these different networks, and it was all from this little bitty show in East Tennessee. And that got me in touch with a lot of promoters. And then I would tell them, "Hey, we'll show your highlights, but if you ever need a ring announcer or you need a play-by-play guy, then, I kind of worked myself into a lot of good situations overseas." And before I know it, I was in Australia and I was in Abu Dhabi, and I was just kind of all over the place, like in a matter of 2 or 3 years. So it was just being smart, networking, grinding, hustling, and just putting myself out there, more than the next guy.
That's great. You know what I really liked about that as well is in this household, we're business owners, entrepreneurs, right? So I love that you didn't ask any permission, dude. You just started doing shit. Like,
right.
That's such a key that people don't realize. Like, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? Who do I call? And it's like, okay,
just do it.
While you're figuring that out, how about you move towards the goal line?
Right. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, and it's hard.
It's hard, but I don't know what it is. Even at a young age, and I was like, selling Ken Griffey rookies and shit like that, going into card shops and trying to hustle up, $50 or whatever, which was like $1 million when you're 9,
Oh, of course.
But when I hear people talk, I need to give people more of the benefit of the doubt, I think, because it really bothers me when people are like, "Oh, I'm going to do this," or I'm going to do that. And it's just like, but you're not. So how about you do? And your story is the perfect example that nobody was reaching out to promoters like you. No one was like, we should put this on cable access. Like, and because of that, you found this career that you obviously enjoy. You have a good time with it. And I just, I wish I try and instill that in my boys as well, but I wish people would realize, yeah, it's fucking hard, but it's not so much hard as it is annoying. Like you just got to go. You just got to do it and keep going. So I love
take
that.
it, and not be, you know, you got to get used to hearing no. You got to get or getting ghosted and just not hearing anything. That's I dealt with a lot of that. I mean, because it's not like I was just reaching out to the 15 or 20 shows that we did end up covering. I mean, I reached out to hundreds of them, right? So I was emailing everybody and trying to find them on Facebook. And the thing with MMA, which is different than a lot of other sports, especially at that time, is and it's still very accessible, right? You can't just like go holler at the owner of the fucking Nets. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, dude? Like, you care if I get some highlights, get a few interviews with the guys? Like, there's such a protocol. It's in boxing's even a little bit more of a protocol, but with MMA, for whatever reason, it's just so much easier to access people. So I would make friends with them on Facebook. I would shoot them text messages. I mean, it was everything like that. And it is very much just go do it. You know what I mean? And there was a thrill for me. Like, it was exciting for me when they would reach back, when they would email me back, like, oh shit, that's the guy from Sweden. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? I would get that email and I'd be like, oh shit. And he'd be like, yeah, man, I'll send you all my clips. And they would send me, gigabytes of footage and be like, yeah, dude, pick whatever you want. And we would do a knockout of the week contest. So I'd have all these promoters from the US that would send stuff, and we would get prizes from different sponsors, and we would send them out like a training mask, or we would send them out a t-shirt from whatever company it might be. Roots of Fight, before they blew up, they were sending us all kinds of t-shirts that we would send out to stuff. It was super dope. I mean, and that part was really fun. And then eventually the network that was carrying us just went away. It was called Fight Now TV is what it was called. Very similar to the Fight Network up in Canada. Very similar. In fact, the same guy that started the Fight Network, Mike Mero, started Fight Now TV. So like he basically created a US version of Fight Network, because Fight Network was mostly a Canadian company in the beginning. And then he created Fight Now TV, and it didn't work out. It went away. So we kind of lost most of our funding. So we shut it down. And then I was able from there just to transition into going full time with the announcing. And before I know it, I was all over Europe and Asia and Brazil. And it was all from the connections that I made from that little bitty cable access show. So I really, I'm proud of that. It's something I'm extremely proud of, because it was fun and it was crazy and it was just a different part of my life. But then things started really rolling, and then I just had to learn how to get better at my craft and be very dependable and be willing to do anything. And that's been my hallmark my whole career, really.
Yeah, it's like you built this little, unknowingly somewhat, and obviously knowingly because you're putting in the work, but you've created this little ecosystem of networking of people that leads you to where you're at now, which you don't get that until you put in that effort. So that's amazing, man.
And it's a small world. The fight world is a very small world. So
I'm finding that.
Yeah. So there's guys that I met. The first promoter I ever worked internationally, his name's Lubo. He's from Bulgaria. And at the time he was like running this show in Abu Dhabi. And, he and I had a great relationship. I would always do a great job over there. That job would come and go with the Abu Dhabi show. They would change ownership or whatever. But then now, I'm working with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and Lubo is our international growth guy, and he's kind of come back into my life, and he's always been around. And, and if he had a new gig, he'd always hit me up. I got this going on. Do you want to come work this show? And it's what I tell my kids and what I tell anybody, anytime I go to a school and talk to somebody, or I talk to, even entrepreneurs or whoever, just take care of people, treat people right, and do a good job, and touch base with them here and there, like don't, not talk to somebody for years. Keep in touch with them even a little bit, even if it's on Facebook, and reach out just a little bit, because it will come back around. And for me, it's a very erratic business being an independent contractor and being in this game that, shows start up, you get real excited, and then they go away. And one thing that's always happened for me is every time a show's gone away, somebody's always called me, and it's like, and it just sort of happens that way. But it's not like I'm getting lucky. It's from all the work that I've put in and the relationships that I've maintained all these years.
No, 100%, man. Because those guys, they don't want to go looking either. If they know they got a solid guy in you, they're just, of course, you're just a message away, which is fantastic.
For sure.
Did EFC or BKFC come first?
Oh, EFC came way before BKFC.
Way
EFC,
before.
Yeah, EFC in South Africa, and I'll give you, see if I can figure it out real quick. I want to say it was 2015 is when EFC started. EFC 38. Gee, what was that? That was EFC 38, 2015, April 2015. But EFC, I made that relationship with their promoter. I was getting footage from them in the beginning of my show. So they were one of the first companies that worked with us and would send us footage. And at the time, them and KSW were the most incredible footage, right? They were like, especially South Africa. KSW had a little bit of a name because they were signing like some big names to bring over. That was in Poland. But EFC, I remember looking at their footage and being like, holy shit. Like they have incredible cameras, production values, commentators, good announcer, great fighters with characters, everything. They had it going on in South Africa in 2015. Like it was really, really cool. So I always would reach out and say, hey, if you ever need somebody, and they're always like, hey, we're good, Cyrus. Thanks for reaching out, blah, 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 blah. And then finally their play-by-play guy went off and did something else, and they had an opening, and I walked right in the door, and I'm still with them to this day. So right now I do it remotely, but for 4 or 5 years, 5 years, I was there 10 times a year in South Africa. And it was a super fun part of my life, man. Really, really cool. Now I get to do it remotely from my house, and thank God for that. I love that because the travel is unnerving sometimes, but yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I mean, people sort of romanticize traveling internationally. Having done that, it's not as romantic sometimes as you think. So doing it from home has got to be somewhat of a blessing.
It's amazing, and 2020 necessitated it, right? So COVID necessitated the remote work, and once we figured out something that worked, where it was consistent and it wasn't dropping out, yeah, it's been cool, man. And they just throw to me. And I got my guy who's actually my color guy who's actually there in South Africa. And there's like a slight delay, but it's not much, so it's pretty spot on.
It's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
It's incredible. Man. Yeah.
So, but you're obviously not remote when it comes to bare knuckle. Are you heading out to Dubai? And if so, like, when do you leave? When's all that looking? I know we got some time until that happens, but
there's plenty ahead of that. So, a couple of different things. So we got Albuquerque, as we're taping this right now, on the 20th. We got Albuquerque next weekend for a BKFC. I think that's a fight night. And then
very cool. I just have to say, of Albuquerque, John Dodson's wife is in PowerSlap, so we've got to know them a little bit. They're awesome, man, out there in Albuquerque.
Very cool, man. It's so funny. Like, I'm glad that I'm on this show because you guys do cover a lot of slap, which is cool, right? Because really our worlds, they don't generally like each other for whatever reason, right? So, and I'll explain to you why. And I don't know how many people you've talked to in the BKFC family or in this realm. Have you talked to a lot of people in this realm or no?
You're the first. Britton Hart's coming on Tuesday. She's been awesome DMing me back and forth. And then Ty Emery should be next. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
So what I was getting to you on is that, so it's an interesting relationship. BKFC has had all kinds of hell getting regulation around the US, right? So it's been a struggle since 2018 when they did their first show in Wyoming to where we are today. And we've had people turn us away. I mean, we just got Pennsylvania, which we sold out. Philadelphia was incredible.
That Philly show looks sick.
Dude, it was what it looked like. I mean, it was next level stuff. It was really cool. But we just got that, we just got that at the beginning of the year. And our promoter, David Feldman, tried for, 8 years to get that state. And that's his home state, and they fought him and pushed against him forever. So, one thing when Slap came around, it's like, all right. It's like, we're not even, I'd say we're sniffing Nevada at this point. We're sniffing them. Like, I feel like it'll happen, but
Yeah.
it's like, so you're telling me a fight sport very similar to boxing where you can defend yourself, you know, all this stuff, but the sport where you straight up take a shot to the side of the head, you know what I mean? But that goes in, but we can't. So it's like
That
it's
is
really
funny, dude.
it is funny, right? I mean, it's just like, man, what the fuck is going on in this Twilight Zone? But you know, so it's funny. Like, I don't have a problem with slap. I know a couple guys, Donnie Van Heerden
Oh yeah.
from South Africa.
Yeah, he's great.
I called some of his fights at EFC. He's such a sweet guy, and I've known a couple of different guys and gals that have done slap. And Justin Bernard, their announcer, he and I competed for Dana White's Contender Series in 2000. What was that? I don't know what that was. We kind of competed against each other for that. He won out.
Amazing.
I always like to say it's because he was already in Vegas, but you know,
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
he's a very sweet guy. He's a very, very nice guy. He's been very cool to me all the way through, and he and I feel like we're friends now. So even though I really wanted that UFC gig, things happen for a reason, man. And just the process to get to the UFC job was wild too, in its own story. So everything happens for a reason, and I'm so incredibly happy to be with BKFC. So I love where I'm at, and I love where we're going. So it's super fun.
Well, you can literally see, if you're in the fight game, if you're a fight nerd even a little bit, you've seen how they've grown. And dude, you're not kidding. What I loved about Feldman, I saw 2 or 3 interviews with him where he was like, people kept checking him as far as like, what do you mean? Like, how in are you? And he would tell them how he mortgaged his house or whatever to do all this stuff. And it's like, that's the guy you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the guy you want to grow it and do it. And with the partners you guys have brought on, you know, some that whatever that Irish guy's name is, and you know, just the different, you know, getting that guy
Yeah.
getting approved city to city and watching it grow. Like I said, that Philly show from my perspective, outsider looking in, it really looked like the Arrival show. Like, look, motherfuckers, we're here. The production was awesome and everything like that. So yeah, I think you landed in a great spot. I mean, they're doing big things.
Yeah, no, like I said, they have them for a reason. This journey's been fun for me. So at the time, you know, I had just came off of Contender Series, and what went away? I feel like something went away at the time. No, it was 21. So I was with UAE Warriors doing a lot of work with them. So they kept going during the pandemic, right? So I was in a good relationship with them. So they kept me pretty busy during the pandemic. My podcast did as well. And then EFC started remotely. But I was doing the UAE Warriors thing. And then I got Eagle FC, which was a Khabib show, you know. So they reached out and I got on as play-by-play with Eagle FC. And then at the same time, BKFC came around, and their host, they wanted to move in a different direction from Ron Kruk and bring out a new host. I created a good relationship there, so they brought me on there. So, you know, it just sort of happened that way. Then Eagle FC went away. It only lasted for,
it was like 3 shows, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. That was a bummer. I've gotten used to it in this business, but it was a bummer because it seemed like it had a lot of legs to it. Thought it had like a lot of good investment into it, but I don't know if they tried to get too big too quick. They didn't have a TV deal really locked in.
It was like when they first started too, it was almost, there was rumblings that they had unlimited funds from somewhere. And
right. Yeah.
But you know what? They kind of all say that, let's be honest. But yeah, they just kind of squirreled away.
It did. So, but I was play-by-play with them, working with Chael Sonnen, Kamaru Usman, and Henry Cejudo. Like, what the hell, right?
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? Like, that was just like,
is that a what the hell moment where you walk up to
it was
three?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the video of it and the pictures and stuff, I'm like, you know, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, you know, but then you realize, okay, I've earned my fucking spot, you know, okay, I'm that good. And it's a cool feeling, man, to get an endorsement like that. And for me, like I told you, I started off in ring announcing. So I've gone as high as the UFC in ring announcing. With play-by-play, I've been on, you know, Eagle FC, XFC, which was on NBC Sports and CBS Sports. EFC in South Africa, AE Warriors, and a list that got Brave Combat Federation. And then the host gig came out. And this was really the first time with BKFC that I've ever been in a host position. I've kind of de facto done it a little bit, welcoming people to a show. I would do that as a play-by-play guy anyways, and doing post-fight interviews and that sort of thing. But when they officially put me in that role, I've found that it's my favorite role. Like it's fun because I get a lot of FaceTime. I'm the one that you hear from in the beginning. I'm the one that closes out the show and everything in between, and I'm interviewing people backstage and I'm doing interviews on the post-fight interviews. So I'm in your face a lot. And,
a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And selfishly, I love it. Right. It's like, cool, man. I want to be out there as much as possible. And and it started off very little. Like they would just give me a few interviews. And then they were like, well, we want you to do all the backstage. Okay. We want you to do all the post fights. Okay. Instead of one open or two opens, you're going to do 3 opens. And then they throw to me anytime there's any time to kill, and they'll put me ringside getting celebrity interviews. And they trust me a lot. And then I started getting all the press conferences. So the press conferences have been super fun. I like doing that as well. So I've really enjoyed this role, but it makes me happy that I've really gone to some pretty big pinnacles on all 3 of those positions. So, and I'm not patting myself on the back, but I don't know many.
It's okay. You can.
I don't know many other guys that do all 3 and have done all 3 at the highest level. And I'm proud of that. I'm very, very proud of it.
No, I think that's great. I mean, and you will be able to tell 100% sniffing out people that are faking it. You know what I mean? Like I found, so I've been an MMA nerd since Liddell Couture 3. So I've kind of been around a minute. And then we got into Slap last June. I went with my boys. Paige Van Zandt was making her debut or whatever. So I was like, what? Hey, let's go check this out. And how we got into it, man, was the live show was just fun. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, yeah, dude, I went in with the same shit everybody else went in. What the fuck is this? This is ridiculous. This is not real, And then you leave and you're pumped. And my kid was like, we should start a podcast. So we're almost a year into this now. And what I've seen, what little I have seen, is for whatever reason, I'm sure it's like this in like Hollywood or whatever as well. But I say that because it's weird. There are people that are trying to fake it to fake it and make it in the fight world. And it's like, bro, you're gonna have to get hit eventually. Like you can't fake it for too long. So someone in your position, man, you can literally look and say, oh, he's got talent, or she's good, or I don't know about this guy, and you can back all that talk up because you've done it all.
Yeah, man, it's a blessing, dude, and it's a fun job to have. And I've been able to see the world, like 27 countries now that I've just been there to work, and that's all through the fight game and through MMA. And seen the world's 6 continents, and that's opened my eyes to a lot of things, which is cool. It's so good to see the world and see how other people live, to really appreciate where you're at. So that's been really good for me, and I've been able to pass that on to my kids. And I brought my daughter to South Africa when she was 5 years old, before she went into kindergarten. She was always really mature anyways, but I was like, you know what? Let's do it, and we did it. And it was probably the best experience I've ever had in my life, was just having her with me, just daddy and daughter, in South Africa, and showing her how the rest of the world lives, and showing her the poverty, and showing her, how it all works. And I think it's made her a more complete human being now at 12. She still has a lot to learn, but I think that it opened her eyes a little bit, same way it opened mine. So I love that the fight game has afforded me experiences like that.
No, I think it's so important to, oh my gosh, dude, it's such a young age to be able to see that. I mean, shit, I wish my 10-year-old would see that, in an earlier age, right, to get that perspective. Yeah. But hey, man, thank you so much for coming on. Like, everyone who's watching or might be listening, we just hooked up literally yesterday. We had some free time, and it's been fantastic. And dude, your career is like such a product of, no, this is how you work to get what you want to get in life, which is so, so cool. And everything that's coming up with BKFC, I mean, the calendar's stacked. You got everything coming up. And where can people find you on social media, follow your journey?
Yeah, man. That's Cyrus the show, and I think everything. I don't do a lot on X. I do the most of my stuff on Instagram, very little on TikTok. Find me on Facebook as well, but usually on Instagram. That's usually the best place to find me or reach out to me and kind of see what I'm up to. I got this new Mr. 100 tag from McGregor the other day, which is fun. So I've been
That's
enjoying
cool.
that.
I was going to
Yeah,
ask you about your name in the corner there.
yeah, he I don't know what it was. We were over in Italy and getting ready for this press conference, and I've struck up a decent friendship with Conor.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, well, he showed up in Denver. We were doing the BKFC, and he just showed up to watch the fights, and then that's what kind of piqued his interest. And we had a really good interview in the middle of the ring. Another one of those deals where you just kind of take the bull by the horns and do the interview. I was like, I'm sitting there doing a post fight with Mike Perry, and I'm like, all right, McGregor's here. Like, I got to ask him something,
Wait,
so I just,
dude, before you keep going, I gotta know, because like I picture myself in the ring doing that kind of thing. That's a moment that is hard. It's organic, but also like, what's going through your mind? Are you trying to think while you're talking to Perry what you're gonna say to him? Is that what kind of is going on?
yeah. So, I mean, and Perry initiated it, right? So Perry, when I was interviewing him, he goes, "Can I get a face off with Conor McGregor?" Because McGregor was just outside pacing, watching that, just getting amped up, dude. He's shadow boxing, he's doing all this shit. He's being Conor, in full Conor. He's going full Conor, and
So good.
it really is like, and I've truly learned to appreciate it. And it's not because technically he's my boss, as part of our ownership group, but it's just you appreciate, man, the way he lives. It's wide open, and he really gets into whatever he's getting into. And, people say a lot of shit and say, it's always everybody's crutch to say, oh, well, he's all coked up.
I know, it's such a cop out.
I mean, it's just everybody wants to say it. Okay. I've been around the guy at least 10 times. I've never seen him do shit. I just see a guy that lives, like you said, like you opened up your podcast today, right? The way you opened up your podcast is how he lives. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
he enjoys life. He fucking gets into it and gets after it, man. That's just his personality. And, he's in the middle of the ring, and Harry brings him in, and they're doing this face off. And I'm like, all right, I got to at least get something out of him. It was my first year with the company, first full year, and I had to get something out of McGregor. And I was just like, I asked him, like, Conor, I've seen you out here. You're pacing. You're having a good time. You're really into it. What's your impression of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? And he gave like the best endorsement that you could ever fucking hear. You know what I mean? And I felt really good coming out of there. And then Feldman pulls me aside and he goes, "You're good for at least another 2 years just because of that interview."
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's right. I just earned that chip. That's awesome.
I just earned at least 2 more years, right? But so yeah, and then just like I said, getting to know him and what's happened with him. And I know about his kids and he knows about mine. He came to Sturgis. I brought my wife with me. It was right around our 15th wedding anniversary. It was like the day after our 15th wedding anniversary. So I brought my wife to Sturgis of all fucking places.
Yeah, I know Sturgis. I've been there twice, dude.
Have you? Okay, so
I have. Yeah, I know exactly what to picture.
It's not my vibe. I grew up around that vibe, and I never would have thought, and I know my wife definitely did not think that her 15th wedding anniversary was going to be in Sturgis, South Dakota.
At least you know she's the best looking girl there. At least you know that.
True. And McGregor he sat there and like talked to my wife for 10, 15 minutes about our kids and stuff, and was genuinely interested in what she did for a living and how we're raising and it's like you saw this side and immediately my wife was like, "Conor's awesome." Like,
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's been like that, So anyways, we're sitting in Italy and all of a sudden I was WhatsApping with him and he goes, "Mr. 100 Cyrus Fees." And I was like, that's cool. I was Mr. International for years because I was the most international guy. I traveled the most out of any other ring announcer. And he said, "Mr. 100. So then I met him at the pre-fight party that they did, pre-press conference party, whatever, in Italy, big shebang just for him. And he gets out of his transport and he comes up to me and he yells, "Mr. 100 Cyrus Fees." And I was like, all right. We're gonna
It's
have to roll
over.
with this shit. This is who I am now. So Conor McGregor gave me the nickname. I'm rolling with it, and I love it because my wife was like, "What does it even mean?" And I was like, "That I'm all in. That I get my shit done. That I show up. I get my stuff done. That I'm always ready to go." I was like, all the things that as a broadcaster you should be proud of, and I'm like, that's how I took it. So. I dig it. It's
Dude,
fun.
You've been anointed by the anointing one. That's pretty good.
Who's always 100? That dude
Who's
lives
always 100. Oh my god, dude! When he was going through all that trial shit, all that garbage, right?
Yeah.
I just looked at my wife. I kid you not. I'm like, man, I'd rather be rich than famous. I think because if you're Conor, you're Conor wherever you go. But the second you get that fame, it's like now it's a negative and people want to come for you. And it's like, oh, really? Because in the beginning, y'all were loving this.
Yeah. And he still does. I mean, he loves. That's the one thing about Conor is he does love attention. I mean, it's quite evident. You know what I mean? Like in his security, bless their hearts, man. And we're in Sturgis, and there's a crowd of 10,000 bikers after the show, and he goes, and we went back to his trailer and having Forged Irish Stout, just hanging out a little bit. And he goes, I want to see the real Sturgis. And I said, I was like, you sure about that? And even everybody else from there is like, you sure about that? And his security's like, fuck. So instead of going around the crowd, he just goes through the middle of the crowd,
No, he didn't give a fuck.
Didn't give a fuck.
Oh.
Doesn't give a fuck. He says it all the time, but no, he doesn't give a fuck. And it's like his security's working overtime, making sure he's good. But he sat there and he took pictures with every fucking person that asked him and signed anything that somebody put in front of him. And it's like, and I tell these fighters, and I'm like, man, this is how you become popular is taking all the fucking pictures. He doesn't have to take another fucking picture in the world if he doesn't want to. He doesn't have to do BKFC. He doesn't have to do shit. He can go be on the yacht, cruise around with his family, but he doesn't want that. Like he wants to be with people, and he wants to have fun and enjoy life. And that's what the guy's doing, man. And he truly loves people and they love him right back.
It's funny. I have two connections to Conor. One is Marcus Deegan, who I've met through Slap. He's an awesome guy, man, just full of energy and like all this stuff. But believe it or not, I get this text from my niece, of all people. I get a text from my niece saying, hey, McGregor is at the mall. And I go, fuck off. Is it like, and then she sends me a video and I'm like, holy shit, Conor McGregor's at the mall. So Bucked Up is a Utah company. And
right here.
Yeah, dude. So
and on my shirt, they're our number one sponsor.
Yeah, no, they're good.
They're great guys.
I've been hitting them up to sponsor the podcast so much it's become a joke between me and the owner. His handle's Bucked Up CEO, and he's just like, not today, Joe. I was like, okay, fucker, yeah, I know.
The Gardner brothers.
Yeah, man, the Gardner brothers.
They're awesome, man. That whole family they're badass. They take care of me, send me swag, send me supplements.
That's cool.
And yeah, they're so cool, man. And I love all their shit, truthfully. I mean, I think they just have a cool ass product anyways. And all their swag, all their clothes are fucking top notch, bro. And that's dude. No joke. Yeah. So I love all their shit.
No, they're good. There was if you live locally, so their offices are like 45 minutes away from where I live. But through the grapevine, you heard that for whatever reason, I don't know if a trailer got I don't know if a semi can be in a fender bender, but got in a little wreck anyway. Because of it, the product was good, but because it was in that wreck, you can't sell that anymore.
You gotta waste it all. And shit.
Yeah. So it was a hot tip for a few weeks. If you just go to their offices, you can get hooked up with all these energy drinks.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. So anyway, the video confirmation comes through, and I'm like, I'm freaking out because it's a drive to get where he's at, but I know exactly where he's at, and I'm doing a deep dive on Instagram. I'm like, I didn't see anything, and they had posted on the Instagram of the Bucked Up store in Farmington, Utah, an hour before Conor McGregor's going to be here. Well, no one knows that because, who's following that store? Like nobody,
Yeah.
So I roll up and there's the Bucked Up Cybertruck and he's in there. And I was just like, I was screaming, Conor, Marcus Deegan says hello. just like screaming it. And But just to validate what you're saying, one, it's way cool
Did
to
he
see.
talk to you? Did he roll down?
No, dude. I, the guy has a billion followers, and I've hit him up saying, "Hey, anytime, anywhere, I'll get on a plane. I'll get on a plane now, bitch. Let's go. Let's have an interview." So I haven't interacted with him like that yet, but just like what you're saying, dude. On an hour's notice, there had to have been 100 people there. You know what I mean? And he comes out of the store. He's got security, and they're kind of blocking everyone off. But as he was walking to the cart, bro, both sides of where people were waiting, he took photos, he signed autographs, and it was just he had to go now. They were going to the next whatever spot.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
I just think for someone to compose themselves like that on such a hot spotlight and just enjoy it and know what it is and what it's there for, it actually is a gift because so many people in the fight game, they get that and they, better than most, they're introverted people for the most part. Like, they're very thin-skinned. They don't, you wouldn't think that because of their career. So when they get that fan, they're kind of like, and then it goes bad. But with Conor, it was like, I've been waiting for this. Let's run with it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, no, he truly lives it. And like I said, he's a good friend. And it's been fun working with him.
Awesome.
It's been it's another pinch. It's like I tell people and I'll be like, yeah, I was with McGregor. And like, no, the fuck you weren't. I'm like, all right, motherfucker. Like, here you go. Like,
it's such an internal
fun,
flex. You just like,
of course.
Cyrus just keeps walking and mumbles, yeah, I wasn't with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
That's so cool.
It is, dude, man. I'm glad you reached out, bro. It's been fun, man. Anytime.
Okay.
Hit me up. I'm always available, bro.
All right, let's do it. And if I end up in Philly or Dubai or Hollywood, Florida or whatever, I'll make sure and give you a fist bump, my guy.
I'll give you a little hint. There's a Utah coming up.
Oh, they're coming back
fairly soon. Yeah.
Okay.
I was told a date, but I can't say it. So, but
you never know.
We're coming back. I mean, it's a given. We're going to be there at least twice a year, every year because of Bucked Up and because, we've had a great response. We've had some really, really fun shows in Utah. So we'll be back, man. And when we are, make sure you show up, make sure you enjoy, man. We'll get you taken care of.
Dude, 100%. All right, everybody, let's let this thing upload.
Perfect, bro.
Put that on mute so I don't hear the echo. All right, man, let's queue up our chat in case people jump on YouTube. Okay. I think we're in business. All right, Aaron, you still with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. All right, everybody. Welcome. Let's do it better than that. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We're coming live with the man in the building. It's the Tower of Power. We got Aaron Turner. Last time his slap made so much noise, they put him on another card at a higher level. He's coming for Seekman, baby, the man with the biggest hands God has ever seen. Crack open your cans. If I can get it. Pour down the glass. We're about to get freaky and live here on the internet with Aaron Turner. Everybody give it up. You better?
A lot better.
Dude, let me get some of this go juice. Not that I need it. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. How's it going, Joe? It's good to hear from you again.
Dude, I was so happy when we could connect and do this. And we thought, hey, let's see what Aaron's thinking. You have the one match, right? And when we talked afterwards, you kind of joked when you were going in there, I hope people can see this. I hope somehow it gets on Dana's Live, things like that. And then sure enough, brother, it happened. And it worked because here we are. PowerSlap 12's coming up. What are you even thinking? What's your gut telling you? Like, what's going on, man?
I'm really excited to be on PowerSlap 12. That I was able to debut the way that I did, and also learn from certain mistakes. It really felt good to just kind of get that sort of feedback, and then given the chance to kind of just get back in the training a little bit felt good. Also see PowerSlap 11. First time in Saudi Arabia. Was a great time. So now that it's back in Vegas, I'm really excited to get going.
Yeah, it's we're talking your backyard, right? Literally.
Basically, it is definitely, second home, my backyard. So I'm definitely excited.
Sorry, I got to finish pouring my drink. I mean, we can't have an empty cup.
Right.
Dude.
Come on, man.
So having gone through it once and knowing what to expect a little bit more, because the first time you're up there, you're in a totally different environment, right? I heard rumors, and I think you were one of them when we spoke last. You got your job done, and then they literally whisk you off in a fucking bus, and you don't even know what's happening or what's going on. This time, that's not going to be the case, right? Like, you're going to be able to hang and see what's going on. Do you have plans to actually hang once you're done to kind of see the vibe afterwards, or are you going to go take a break before you hit the after party?
First time, it was a bit of a bummer. I'm kind of a team player. I like to enjoy being around my teammates and see them perform. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. I had to watch it from my hotel, but it was definitely good to catch up with, my team afterwards. But now, since, I'll be live and I'll be with the whole team this time, I'm definitely excited to live the atmosphere of what it's like to kind of watch it rather than be on stage. Nobody can really say that, they've been on stage and then right afterwards get to watch the action. So, it'll definitely be an experience.
Yeah, I think that, because no matter how the match goes, I feel like that's part of the experience overall. You know what I mean? Seeing the whole event and kind of knowing you did your thing, and you get a moment to kind of just absorb it all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, very cool. Now, who are the people that you do train with? You mentioned your team. I know. Well, I don't want to mess up any names. So, who are the people? I know there's like 2 or 3 of them that you train with, like Michelle and a few others. Is that right?
It was the ones that debuted was definitely Michael, Michelle. She was one of them, and Lauren Wise was another one. Unfortunately, she did not get called up for another card. Michael Michelle did, so that's great news. Definitely nice to see the growth in females that are going to be in this sport. It's definitely exciting. So those are the 3 that got the debut from the blue team.
Yeah, it's exciting. The women's division. One of these days, they got to get those ladies a belt. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I was expecting it. PowerSlap 11 with Sheena and Jackie.
Yeah, I was too.
So yeah, that was something I was really hoping for PowerSlap 11, but it looks like it's in the works, and hopefully it's going to come out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think so. We're in this, right? So maybe we need to have a bit more patience, like, because they're working on it, it's coming, but it's growing so fast. I know people want to see that, so it'd be kind of cool if they threw a surprise out there at 12 or something like that. So let's talk about. I've talked with a few guys, so like Bryce is one of them. I just spoke with Isaiah as well, and we're talking Dwayne as well. We're all 3 with those guys. I've been talking technique, and the reason is because obviously, Aaron walks into a room. My guy, you walk into a room, people are going to notice you. You're a bigger guy, not just in height, but in stature as well. Do you think striking down is an advantage or a disadvantage?
Honestly, it all comes down to, the right technique. I think for most people, it's what works best for them. Some guys aim higher, some guys like to aim across, and some guys like to aim down. I think when you aim down, you have more weight coming down as you're swinging. For me, I'm a big guy, but of course, it's all about technique when it comes down to it. You could be the biggest guy in the room, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's all about technique. So I was very fortunate enough that, when I came in, that I had, Coach Rob that was in my corner, and a couple guys that have had the experience, some of the season 3 guys kind of walked me through it a little bit, and exactly, how to precise your strike a little bit, aiming point. So I was aiming up the first time I was doing it. So I was kind of just like swiping up, and you see a 6'7", 6'8" dude, and there's nobody else that is even close to eye level with him, going, why are you aiming up? We got the technique down a little bit. I had a whole week to kind of just get it down a little bit. So it was definitely enough time for me before my match to get going, and winning the coin toss in my favor, definitely made a huge difference. So I think sometimes coming down does help. But I think it's all just like how your body operates in the way that, your technique is. It's really something to study. And a lot of people don't realize that, again, like, being the biggest dude in the room, like, that doesn't mean anything sometimes, or how hard you hit a bag. It's all about the technique. It's the aiming point.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, even in the slap game, it's similar in that way in the fight game. Meaning, there's a lot of, how do I say this? There's a lot of heavy bag champs out there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys that are just murderers row on the bags, doing the training, doing this, doing that. And I would say that's similar to the slap game, man. Just like what you're saying, it comes down to the technique. You can have all the power, you can have all the enthusiasm, but if your technique and practice is lacking, you can be a heavy bag champ. Cool. But when it comes to being across someone on the podium, on the stage, you got to dial in that technique. Absolutely, man. So But speaking of height, though, Seekman, is he eye level with you? He's a pretty big guy.
I met him once in person. It was actually funny. So before my match, I didn't really hop on social media as much, but, once they finally decided not to make me a black silhouette anymore, he made some comments, for Brian Ellis to put me down. And of course, being a brand new guy, not much respect there. So, when I met him at the after party, I kind of got a glimpse of who he was, and kind of seeing it's funny because he was ranked 7th and now he's 4th, which Brian Ellis wasn't, and I'm ranked 7th now. He's up at 4th. So, I didn't expect it to be a matchup, but now that we're here, I'm definitely excited for the opportunity. Me and James got to speak a little bit briefly, through social media, through Instagram a little bit. All civil conversations. I know the way that he is. He likes to be a showman and get the crowd going a little bit, and that's just the way that he is. I got no issue with it whatsoever, or anything derogatory he has to say towards me, which hasn't really been, very effective towards me. I'm just ready to go, honestly, Friday, March 7th. But size-wise, I think he's very technical. He's very accurate with his strikes. And obviously, he has the iron chin for a reason. So he's definitely shown that, he can absorb a hit, but he also can deliver it. So definitely got to respect that. But for me, I just do what I do best. I'm just ready to go, get in there and get that knockout.
I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, it's funny. You and James are not so much on stories, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, especially with your profile, but you guys aren't too active as far as like posting, on social media. Is that a challenge, or does it matter? Because when guys are posting a lot, you know what I mean? Like, you're seeing them train, you're seeing them do this, you're seeing them do that. And with James, man, he's kind of quiet. So is it hard to find how he's training or getting an inside track on that guy?
How he trains is the way that he trains. The way that I train is the way that I train. So, it all is going to come down to, who's going to be the last man standing and who's going to have their hand raised after our match March 7th. So we're both kind of quiet guys, social media, but I think when you get our names in the mix, I don't think he's afraid to really, speak on his name or anything, or anybody that, either disrespects him or like someone that's going to be put against him. So I think once the card dropped, he definitely had things he had to say about it. Obviously his goal in mind is to get a championship and have that title. And, I think he's definitely just looking past me, and I'm just not going to tolerate it. So I use that as my fuel to be like, you know what, I'm not going to be an easy door to open. So I hope he knows that, and he realizes that once we face each other. So that's all I really got to say about that.
No, that's good. And shit, man, March 7th is coming, isn't it? Like, it's pretty close. So it's about to be wartime. And I feel like, so I've thought about this match a little bit. Like, I've rewatched the tape that we do have on both of you, right? And I just, I feel like this one's going to be a war. Like, I really do. I don't think anyone is going to come in and do a one and done type thing. I think for me personally, the first striker out of you guys that gets their feet dialed in first is gonna take it home. Do you feel like it's gonna be a one and done type situation with you guys? Do you feel like it's going to go all the rounds? Like, what is your gut kind of telling you how the match is going to go?
Well, I think, honestly, my gut feeling is I think James is going to win the toss. And obviously, having the advantage of, getting the first strike, you want to one and done the dude so you can have an easy night. I think that's something that he's expecting. And obviously for me, I've only taken one shot. James has taken much more shots than I have. So I think I'm really going to be put in the spotlight of, does this guy have a chin? Can he take the shots? Can he battle? So I know for myself that I can battle, but that's something, that I'm willing to show the fans and everyone else around the world that, I'm able to compete at the high level. So that's just something that I'm ready for.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. What are the people at Western Oregon thinking about all this, man? Do you have any buddies you stay tight with from the team, and do they watch it? What's the relationship like with your boys or your former alma mater?
So what's funny about it is, once the, like you talk about, the highlight, started surfacing around the internet and all over social media, not many people knew what was going on. Like, as soon as they saw that, go, that looks like Aaron. Like, I didn't know you were doing this. Like, nobody really knew that I was doing this. So, it just, it just kind of flared up all over the place, and everybody just started noticing, and then they started commenting. It's all been positive. It's all been good. So, I definitely got loves from my guys over at my alma mater. They know who I am as a person. They probably know me closest than anybody else. So I always appreciate their support in whatever I do. And obviously I got support for them for whatever they're doing in their lives. So.
Were you keeping were you keeping the match and the whole power slap thing kind of quiet on purpose just to see how it goes?
Yeah, honestly, I did. I've watched PowerSlap for a little bit and just kind of just keep it to myself. When you're going against a guy like Brian Ellis, I wasn't just going against some average Joe off the street. I was just someone that they picked up. So I wanted to see how I perform. And obviously, my intention was, I want to be on the roster. And I'm also here to obtain the heavyweight championship from Damien DeBell. So, that's my goal. I don't think anybody's really here to just sit around and have fun. If they are, then they really don't deserve to be here. So I'm just here to, mark my territory, just put my name out there and see what I can do with the opportunity. So that's what I continue to do, and that's what I plan on doing.
No, you can't argue with that, right? If you're not here, I think at the very beginning there were some guys who are like, shit, I'll give this a try, whatever. And it's not like that anymore. And in such a fast time too. Let's be honest, man, that could have been the case in this league for a couple of years, guys trying to find their way. But I feel like, guys like yourself that come in, you're like, no, I need to take care of business. Like, I want this, I'm going to get it, has raised the bar so fast and so high. You know what I mean? And I think that's real. If you're not, if you're just here to get slapped and get on TV, you might want to think about doing something else. Dude, that's crazy, man. That's incredible. Plans after the match. Do we look ahead? Do we want to stay in the moment? I asked you this last time, but I just love the answers to this question, which is, it goes your way. Dude, you grab the mic. What happens? Do you stay thankful, humble? Do you call someone out? Do you just want to soak in the moment? Like, when the fight goes your way, do you have any plans for the mic?
Honestly, for the mic, I'm just going to do what I did first time. Number one, I didn't expect to be on the mic. I'll tell you that first and foremost, but always come in with the intention to win, especially when you're in Las Vegas. You're here to win. You're not here to lose. But, when I grab the mic, I always congratulate the guy in front of me, because it takes a big set to really be on stage and follow lots of people just to take a shot from somebody. It's not a normal thing, and you'd have to be crazy to do it. So, I give my mutual respect to any of my opponents, and obviously afterwards, yes, always a good time to hang out with the rest of the team and just in a party atmosphere a little bit. Like, win or lose, I know everybody comes to win, but it's definitely a good time to just hang out with the guys and meet people, celebrities that come watch us. It's actually kind of comical sometimes when you bump into someone. It's like, yeah, I've seen this guy on this TV show, but he comes up to me and he congratulates me.
Yeah. It's kind of a surreal moment,
right?
Huh?
It is a surreal moment, but at the same time, you just want to enjoy it. With the guys around you. Brian Ellis, was a very respectable human being, down to earth guy. He actually tried to congratulate me before I kind of just hit dodge and just get out of there. So I was bummed out I didn't really get to see him afterwards. But I know most people don't like seeing other people after they lose. But I just hope through this experience that we get, as long as this is going, that win, lose, or draw, we're able to have fun at the end of the night, and I think we all deserve it.
No, it's funny. I was just talking to Anthony DeFrank the other day, and we were talking about that same aspect. At least for now, PowerSlap is unique in the sense of the vast majority of the roster. Dude, when the fight's over, we all go out and have beers. Like, we all go out and hang, have a good time. There's not a lot of bad blood, which I think is crazy unique in the fight game.
It is. It's with me and James, there's going to be a lot of feel for it. People think of James definitely that he's petty. He's just a shit talker. He's two-faced, whatever. I've never had the wrong idea of the guy, but I definitely know he's going to want to knock my head off, coming up in March. So I think I think the mutual respect is there, whether, he believes it or not. But, I think we have the same goal, that we're trying to knock each other out. But hopefully at the end of the day, it's mutual respect, win, lose, or draw. But we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, 100%. We got Seekman in the chat, man. He's going a little bit. He's saying, not with you, though. Yes, I do. LOL. But James, I see you, buddy. If you want to go live after this, James, just DM me, brother. So, but I do agree. You got to build up the fight. It's your job, for crying out loud. And no one, how do I say this? No one doesn't want build up, right? Like, we want to be emotionally involved. We want to root for somebody. We want to see, people jump off the couch because they're that invested. The way this match is setting up, man, I really feel like it's going to be one of those matches,
Well, we're going to give the people what they want to see. I'm not looking for no quick one and done on my end. I think it's going to be a straight up battle. And again, I'm going to be chested. So I think having someone like James is definitely going to be really good competition.
Right on, man. Absolutely. Well, dude, Aaron, my guy, it's so good to see you, man. I can't wait to actually see you in Las Vegas again. Where can people find you on social media and follow this journey headed up to the event?
You can go ahead and follow me at Aaron_Turner56. Pretty simple. Just remember the underscore and the 56 at the end of it. But also be sure to give a follow up to Slap Zone, man. They deserve all the love. They're by far one of the biggest platforms we got, along with Petty Diane. So be sure to follow both of them. They deserve some love, and they're nothing but good people, outside of this. So be sure to give a follow to Slap Zone.
Man, thank you so much. And before we go, though, James clarified. He said, so just so you know, Aaron, he's like, not talking shit to Aaron. That's what I mean with the first one. So, okay, there you go, people. Look, it's the fight game. It's in your face, quite literally. It's violent. But at the end of the day, look, we're all humans. We're all people. And we're just looking to get the job done. And I think you're a very good example of that.
Well, like I said, I mean, James is listening. We're going to have a battle. It's not going to be easy. I'm just going to tell you, the little dog barks, but the big dog bites. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to face you on Friday, March 7th. So bring it. Fucking bring it.
Everybody who's listening right now or going to watch later, March 7th, get the tickets, PowerSlap 12. They just get better and better. It's crazy. And that night isn't going to be any different from any other night. It's going to be a banger. We're so happy it's going on. Aaron, thank you so much for coming. And we will talk very soon, man. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you. Hope all's well with you and the family as well. So thank you, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do our thing. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the man in the building. He's walking like an Egyptian. No. He's slapping like an Egyptian. You feel me? He took out time from his tattoo day to spend time with us. He's coming up in Vegas in just 2 weeks. Everybody give it up for Hunter the Assassin.
What's up, brother? Good
What's
to
going
see you.
on, man? Hey, it's only been like 6 months. How you been?
Only 6 months, right?
A lot has happened. Fill us in.
Yeah, man. So the past 6 months, holy crap. So last time we talked, we were talking about road to the title, coming back from that, and how many changes have came from doing PowerSlap to what has been implemented now. And oh my gosh, so much has changed. One, the amount of work and time that I've seen not only me but many others put into this, it's awesome. That was the exact goal I was looking for in myself, was just to get personal growth and development at one point, and boom, not only me but so many others are just grinding, getting in the gym, just taking care of themselves, and getting to be part of it is just awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was talking just yesterday with Aaron Tower.
Yeah,
and we were talking about the same thing. How it's funny how fast it's growing, and all of us are a little impatient. We're like, why do they have this? Why don't they have that? And it's like, but if you reflect, it's not guys coming off the couch so much anymore. And for whatever reason, when season 3 dropped, it started to become more of a thing. So you're seeing guys like you, that's actually putting the work in, man, and it's paying off.
Absolutely. Now, it's being patient and being resilient, that call will come, and, taking good care of yourself isn't only, half the battle. Once you take care of part 1, part 2, the rest is easy,
Yeah,
get out there and put on a show for the people.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. So are you going to be on, do you know where your placement is at on the card? Like, are you prelim? Are you?
I'm not sure yet, honestly. Okay. I do know who my opponent is, which is good to know, obviously, for studying how they set up, how they hit. It helps. Film does help, and I want to be ready for everything that this person has for me.
So tell the people, who are we going after this time?
So it looks like Angel, the Outlaw Mero's going down, man.
The man with a 6-gun for a mouth.
Man, I cannot wait for this one. Shoot, he was in the house with us too, and he had his own thing going on. He went against Alex. You remember him?
Yeah.
And you remember the hematoma. That was one of the craziest things I think I've ever seen when I was at the house. But damn, I cannot wait. This is definitely a match I need. And this is definitely an important match, too, especially for all of us that are in the same boat. Where will this put you going forward? You want to grow and build your storyline. You better put in that work and make sure it pays off.
Yeah, 100%, man. And did you have a feeling it was going to be him, or was it a straight up surprise?
First, I was thinking around when I first got the call, who if I was available for March 7th. I was circling around, looking on Instagram and stuff, and I happened to see, someone else's story pop up with like, oh, Vegas is coming up. I'm like, weight class seems right. Name is right. Yeah, this could be it. Surprise, I wouldn't say as much, but definitely getting the call was a huge surprise.
Yeah. Do you finally, you've had the experiences you've had, but knowing that you're going to be on a big time card, do you feel so validated?
This is I'm beyond honored getting to get to be part of this again. Seriously, there's so many of us that are, sitting and waiting. I wouldn't even say sitting and waiting, training and waiting, to get back on there and prove a point. And now it's my time to shine, and I'm back for a reason, and I'm going to show you guys why I'm back for a reason. Yeah.
I love it. I love it, dude. Obviously I can see you, but I can feel you smiling. Like you're just happy. Like you want to get out there,
I'm
don't you?
excited. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm not letting this fall through.
Man, I love it. And then no matter how it goes, we got the after party in Las Vegas. Can't go wrong with that, right?
Damn right.
Man, how has training been? Are you doing more of the same things, just more intense? Have you switched it up at all?
So a lot of it, it's normal day-to-day basis. Like for me, I don't work out as much as most people would. Time scheduling, everything. Discipline could be many factors. But for me, I like to go around like four times a week.
4 times a week.
Like Monday and Tuesday, take Wednesday off, Thursday and Friday. And it's been a lot more of just working on our movement, our rotational force, just how we work and get that motion without hurting ourselves, and just keeping everything in a fluent motion, just keeping it clean and powerful. So a lot has been focusing on just the straight up movement, how we want to be.
More so of the accuracy, since the power and all that is already there.
The power is there. It's just learning how to really get set up. And a lot of people, I see working on their technique, but for me, I need to work a lot more on my defense, so I'll be bracing up against a wall side, pushing. There's certain ways I want to be set for this, because you want to be, base, you want to be a brick wall, all around.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think about them kind of locking down on the whole chin tucking stuff?
100%. There's certain ways to be defensive, but there are a lot of things we've seen in the past that were all the way up or all the way back. It seems like it's up to the ref's discretion. I know how I want to be set up, and I know that it's in a legal manner, and see how it goes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I love everyone yakking about the refs and the rules, and was that a movement of the heel? Was that a chin tuck? Like all this stuff, because I feel like it's positive, because it's bringing to light that people are actually invested. Like more and more and more, you're seeing that like this is a sport, son. Like people
Exactly.
care.
Especially, it's to keep us safe too. God forbid, a rotational force comes into play so much in a strike. So, God forbid you get hit hard enough, it can really do some serious damage. So, us being on top of it, and hopefully the refs learning and just growing with it too, because this is brand new and it's it comes with it. But hopefully we'll see some serious growth in all directions from us as athletes. Striking people, keeping it clean and doing the right thing, and the refs catching those those fouls.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It's just it's happening so fast, and it's getting validated so fast. It's so fun to be a part of. When do you fly into Vegas?
I'll be there next Saturday, March 1st.
March 1st. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're getting our setup together the 4th and the 5th. So yeah, keep watching for that. But man, that's exciting, man. So on the 1st, is it just to get when you land, are you just getting your feet grounded, all that, or does media and all that start happening, rapid fire once you get there?
Well, that's a good question. From my understanding, when I get set up there, I'll probably just put my bags down, see whatever their itinerary is, whatever they need me to do for the day, and probably just get right back to work like nothing's changed, just a different scenery.
Yeah.
Maybe definitely catch up with everyone. That'll be wonderful. Some really awesome faces I'm going to see, and really stoked for it all. It's a blessing.
That's cool. At the Circa again, yeah? Are you going to stay at Fontainebleau?
Yeah, I'll be at the Circa.
Okay, yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I just saw this morning. I think they posted it yesterday, but I saw this morning that Slap News is going to have their big, open event, all that kind of shit. And I know Petty Corner is going to be there. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Stadium Swim at Circus. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. All right, dude. Well, your opponent. You're obviously excited. Like you can just sense it. You know what I mean? Is this going to be enough for a minute, or no matter how this match goes, do you want to be on the next one and the next one? Like, how do you see 25 playing out? I mean, dude, we haven't spoke like we said for 6 months or so, but now you've got some momentum, you got a fight, you got some traction. How do you feel 25 is going to play out for you, man?
Well, 25 will play out. Like I said earlier, this is a really important fight for me. Regardless of where it is in the rankings, where it is in the card, that doesn't matter. This will set me up for where I want to go forward. And I know I love a good climb. I love a good grind too. I'll go number after number up. It doesn't matter. I'm just here for it all. I can't express enough how much this brings me to life and just the competitiveness out of me. I love it.
Well,
so
dude,
wherever it goes.
No, I love that answer. And everybody who's watching, look, man, where can they find you? Where can they follow your journey? And then after that, any last messages for our hand grenade in Texas?
Yeah, so you can find me on all socials. It's Hunter Hassanin with 2 T's. And, I'm on Instagram, and that's really, mostly it. Facebook there, too, here and there. But Instagram mostly.
Dude, right on. And Angel, you think he's going to wear a halo that night? You think he's going to...
Man, I'm hoping to take this man, rile him up, get that out, I'll fucking take him home, take that bag home. That's the goal.
I love it, man.
The goal. Manifested.
I love it. I love it. Hunter, dude, thank you so much. And thanks for being patient. We had a little bit of technical difficulties there, but I will 100% walk right up to you, say what's up in Las Vegas, and I'm excited, man.
Stoked to meet you, man. I cannot wait.
Right on. All right, dude, let's let this bitch upload. 1 sec.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's do this. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the queen in the building. She's got red all over her jackets, all over her hair. It's not because that's her natural color. It's because she got fire in those hands, sucker. Yeah. Last time she cracked the chin. This time she's going to crack more. Everybody, give it up for Michael Michelle.
I'm not supposed to cheer for myself. Hi.
And no, this is not Ariana Grande stand-in. This is the real deal right here. This is Michael Michelle, people. How we doing?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing very well, very well. So I was watching your Instagram stories just a few days ago, and you dropped a pretty good hint that something was about to happen.
Yeah.
Walking into the building, and then next thing you know, things happen. So how did it break down? Did they DM you? Did they text? And then when did you find out you were actually going to be fighting a big name in Paige?
So a few weeks ago, I got a text from Erica, the matchmaker, and she said, hey, do you want to compete in March? And I said, yeah, I was actually just going to text you, which is funny because that week I was going to text her because I saw some hype getting going about March. So I responded and said, yes, of course. I don't really ask too many questions, to be honest. I'm very with it. So I just said, yes, of course. And then she said, okay. And then a few texts later, she's like, do you think you can get down to 125? And I said, yeah, I'm about like 134, like 133. So I can definitely get down to 125. And then so I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be doing 125, that's going to be a new division. And then finally she said, we're actually targeting you against Paige. And I just texted back. I think I texted back like the money emoji signs and said,
that's fantastic. So they had you see if you're on weight or if you could get to weight. And then they tell you the opponent. You sent the money emoji sign, and maybe that's all we need to know. But like internally, were you freaking out? Were you excited? Are you nervous? Like, I mean, it is the second round, so maybe nerves are a little calmer, but like, what were you thinking when you found out?
I was just so excited because, I'm sure every girl on the roster, that's the matchup you want. That's the big name. That's everything. So the fact that I'm going from having my first one being in front of no audience, kind of no hype around it, nothing, to now it's like, all right, here's the big one already. I'm definitely excited. It's good motivation. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very nervous. I'm actually more just excited, I guess. I think I do better in front of a crowd anyways. So the fact that there's going to be a big crowd calms my nerves way more than being up on the stage with just 20 people out watching.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Like you hear of like basketball players when they're at the free throw line, for whatever reason, if the audience were to go quiet as if no one was there, that would make them more nervous.
Yeah.
And you kind of have that same mentality, like the bigger, the more noise, the better.
Yes, exactly. I
That's
think it helps me to like flip a switch, because I think not that I'm a fake person in front of an audience, but my personality just comes out so much more when it's such an easier switch for me to perform.
yeah, knowing. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that for sure. Have you gone back and watched Paige versus Chelsea?
I did. I watched both of Paige's. I think she slaps good, but she definitely, I think, has some flinching in there, some fouls that weren't called. But I try not to think about the opponent too much. I'm more just, myself, I guess, and what I want to work on and what I want to do.
Yeah, I get that. No, that's strong. In other words, I was talking to K Ali, the chief, the other day, and going into his match, he had the same mentality, and he even was open about how, maybe a lot of people thought he came across as brash or angry or whatever, but he was just focusing on him and he was focusing
Mhm.
on the task at hand. And it sounds like that's kind of what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's
exactly.
awesome. So remind me, is this going to be in your backyard or do you live in Vegas right now?
I do. So,
If you don't mind
born
me
and
asking,
raised.
whereabouts? My wife and I lived in Vegas for like 4 years.
I live by the M Casino.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For all the locals out in Vegas, the M's a good spot because you get all the casino type flair without without the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
It's right
that's
off the
cool.
freeway.
Yeah, right next to the freeway. Going to California, you cut off 20 minutes time, hitting the beach,
Oh, yeah. The best. And that's what I'm actually super excited for as well. My first one was in Vegas, but I couldn't have a crowd, so my friends and family weren't able to come, and now it's just everyone's a 20-minute drive away from Fontainebleau, so everyone gets to see me in person.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you're definitely going to be one of the recorded fights this time.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. Do you like it's such a specific act,
Mhm.
You get up, you stand across the podium, but I'm curious how you actually train for something like this.
So me personally, honestly, most of my training and ideas are really just all from myself. I learned from the first time I wasn't necessarily training correctly in the way that I was hitting. I was doing more like MMA fighting. I kind of was trying to throw, like a hook and really get my arm power into that and all the things you learn about throwing a punch. And that I thought it would just translate right over. And then when I got to Circa and I started talking to the other power slappers, I realized, okay, I didn't train correctly when it comes to power slap. It didn't necessarily translate the way I thought it would. And then so I took all the information that I learned from them. Crazy Hawaiian helped me a lot. Pono helped me a lot. Yeah, I just been, what they told me to do, I just been implementing myself. I've been doing a lot of strength conditioning or strength training so that I'm strong, my neck is strong, all right here, like, so I can not get knocked out. And then as far as hitting, I've just been, hitting the flimsy paddle and really working on my form, looking back at videos, and just, I've really put some strength and speed into my slaps. So I wish I was doing it tomorrow because I'm so ready.
Yeah, I can tell in your voice that you're excited.
I'm so excited. I love competition. I'm such a, what's the word? When you like to, I'm such a
Adrenaline junkie.
competitive person. There we are. I'm such a competitive person. I even make little things a competition. So now that I get to compete and, have competition on the big stage, I just so excited.
It's literally speaking to your heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the type of person that you don't want to play Uno, you want to win Uno.
Yes. I'm the kind of person where I always take everything a little bit too far to where it's like, all right, Mikey, we're just playing a board game. It's not that serious, but it's always that serious to me.
Hey, people can knock it, but that's where you get where you want to go,
Yeah.
I can tell you from real life experience that my woman has that same thing in her, and I never doubt her, and I rarely compete against her. It's like, you can do it. I'll be in the corner. Go win, baby. I'm fine. I'll just eat my donut. Dude, that's very cool. Have you thought about? It's interesting, right? Like Chelsea was similar in the sense that she was getting up there, but it was her first time, and she's going against this big name. And I remember asking her because she dropped it kind of quick, saying that it was her first time slapping was going to be at this event against Paige. And I just like, wait, go back. And I asked her, so this is your first time getting up there doing anything and it's on the stage? And she's like, yes. And we're laughing. I'm like, you're a savage. I can't believe this. But for you, you already had a round and you've already kind of talked about how the bigger the crowd, the better, things like that. But let's say the match goes the way we want it to go. So Mikey wins, done, Paige on the ground. Have you thought about that Mike moment where you accomplished what you wanted to and now you're on to the next thing? Have you thought about what you might say, what you might ask for? Because that's a big leveraging moment.
Absolutely. I think I've been thinking about what I'm going to say on the mic before this match even came to fruition. So I think what I've been practicing or in my head, I have a few different things, but that's really what's been motivating me because I love that moment. Oh, yeah, a few months now, probably since December. Actually, probably since before I even got that first match, I've already been in my head what I'm going to say, get the crowd hyped up,
That's
I
great.
don't, and when I get there, I don't have something where it's like, this is exactly what I'm going to say, but I definitely have a lot of different things. And then in the moment, just whatever comes out, comes out. I'm definitely going to try to not cuss because I do have a little issue with when I get excited, just start cussing. And I don't even like cussing. I don't know where it comes from, but it definitely comes out. So that's all I'm going to be thinking about is don't cuss.
Well, that's, you know what? I think they'll be okay with it if you happen to slip one out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had well, I don't know. You should go back and watch my interview with Robin. She was so funny, and she's like, it got. What's the word on social media where you get ghosted, but you're not. It's what is that?
Like soft blocked?
Yeah, like soft blocked or whatever that is, because she kept ripping off how in the States the word is fuck, but where she's from, the word is, excuse me, audience, but the word is cunt. So she kept going off and saying it over and over. And we were laughing, we were drinking on the pod, and it was just fantastic. So anyway, you're in a safe space. You can say what you want. And when you're on that mic, I guarantee it'll be another safe space for you for sure. Absolutely. I love that. Well, hey, what are you doing this weekend? What you got going on? Are we hitting up the farmer's market? We do anything like that?
Actually, I just drove past the farmer's market when I got my coffee this morning and was like, all right, I think I'm going to go hit that after the pod. So there's another one down the street, farmer's market gym. I do work tonight as well because,
what do you do for a living? Obviously, besides the obvious here.
I'm a waitress.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I don't want to say where, but.
Oh, no, you're fine. You don't have to.
In Vegas.
Yeah,
I just have to slip up and always tell them, I'm like, okay. But yeah, I'm a waitress.
No, we won't let the cat out of the bag. You're fine. Well, shit, man, being a waitress in Vegas is not such a bad gig. I mean, the weekends have got to be so busy.
Yeah. I'm blessed because I really only work 15 hours a week. With PowerSlap, I can work, a lot less, but the money's nice. I like working at night because I like to do everything during the day. I kind of have freedom with my schedule. They're very cool. I told them I need a week off, and they're like, okay, just let me know when. So.
Well, hey, you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. What do you like to do for fun? Are you a movie chick? Are you spa girly? What's going on?
I'm like half and half. Half I like to all the relaxing massages, get my nails done, all the girly stuff. And then the other half is I like MMA. That's mostly what I like to do, competition-wise, sports.
Okay. Do you ever get over to Syndicate and train?
Yeah, that's where I train at. I just haven't been. Yeah.
Okay, so when we lived there, that's where I trained. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I love Syndicate. I love everybody there. I just been taking a little bit time off MMA-wise because I was dealing with a little back issue.
Okay.
But for slap, it's not an issue. But yeah, Syndicate, love Syndicate.
Yeah, Syndicate's great. So I was there. Let's see, the wifey and I were there. It's been a minute. It's been like 10 years ago. But when I was there, who was big at the time was Nate Diaz was training with Ronda, and they rolled through. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And I got to do like 30 seconds of mitts with Tyron Woodley. That was like so terrifying.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a great gym. I love it. Is that what first got you in to this whole PowerSlap game, like training MMA and then hearing through the grapevine? Because Mikey, I've heard people saw an ad on Facebook. I've heard people, they had fights coming up that fell through and they somehow got contacted. Like, How did you find this niche?
So, I've always loved MMA and seen myself in a job, some type of MMA, whether that's being a fighter, which, hasn't come to fruition because I've just dealt with a lot of different injuries. And then so with the most recent back injury, I've kind of decided, okay, I know I want to work in MMA. I want to work in sports, but what I really want to do, I'm struggling getting there. So let me look at other options. And then, like I said, I love competition. So when I seen PowerSlap, I was like, okay, I'm just dying to be against somebody, I just want to go against somebody in any capacity. So I reached out, and I also really looked at the company and was like, wow, it's such a fast growing company. When you look at the other side of things, because I know people are very opinionated on whether it's a sport and, just kind of that issue and the defensiveness, the lack of defense.
You can't put your hands up.
Is a big thing. Yeah. So, but when you stop looking at all of the emotional opinions and then you look at the real facts of it and the way that the company is growing, the way that all the money's coming, and just really what it is, I realized okay, I actually am really interested in this. And I could see myself maybe commentating for them or what all these other things. So then I just reached out over email, and I got an email back pretty quick. Hey, we need a female in Vegas actually, and we're trying to build the female division. And I was like, I'm your girl. I'm work right down the street. I live 10 minutes away. And then that was my December match. Then I just had so much fun in December. I was like, I'm definitely ready to do this again.
Yeah, I laugh because it is crazy how PowerSlap, they're all about spontaneity. They will text you 10 minutes before the match and say, hey, are you in? And they're like, I mean, of course you say yes. You don't say no.
Yeah.
And you got to do it, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I've heard so many stories of yeah, so I got this email or a text. Can you be in Vegas in a week? Can you be in Vegas in 5 days? Stuff like that. And as it grows, of course, that'll be, easier and easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. What you're saying is the growth of it.
Mm-hmm.
People complain about, certain aspects of PowerSlap, but we're the slap nerds. So we see it all the time. So we have maybe stronger opinions, but outside looking in, you're absolutely right. It's growing like crazy.
Yeah.
It won't be long before, this is what I say. I don't drink Coca-Cola. I just don't like it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Coke doesn't give a shit. They're doing fine. They're okay. And that's how I view a PowerSlap, because that's how I viewed MMA way back in the day when they were having the same emotions about, UFC. We're like 10 million fans that are in the closet. They're not allowed to say they like it. And then once they come out of the closet, it's going to explode even more. So it's very cool that you got to be a part of it, or are a part of it so early, man.
Because that's exactly my argument with people when they bring different things to my attention. I always say, well, when you look at UFC when it first started, it was small and a lot of people were really against it. And then you look at it now and what it is today. And so to pass up an opportunity with PowerSlap, and then in 10 years I look back and it's like, wow, I could have been part of, the opening of that, and I missed out. So I definitely didn't want to, let an opportunity go by.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Oh, good.
I know we tried to hook it up.
This is my first one.
Well, I feel so validated as a human being. We got the first rip. Yeah. So for the people that might be watching or listening, we were DMing back in December for that card, for the setup, and we just barely missed each other. But in Mikey's defense, it was kind of chaos. It was our first rodeo, doing a big setup, things like that. So this time, so happy we could connect. So happy you got this match. I mean, there's going to be so many eyeballs on you. What a cool moment. And we'll be in Vegas the week of the fight as well. And yeah, we'll high five in person, say what's up. And where can everyone follow you on social media? Where can we find you?
Michael Michelle on Instagram. That's my only social media right now. I'm building a YouTube, but yeah, Michael with 2 L's, Michelle.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, everybody, it's happening. Can you handle it? Can you believe it? It's going down. March 7th. Come watch this girl do her thing. All right. Let's let this bitch upload. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. We don't need no distractions.
None.
Okay. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome welcome to Slap Son. We got the man in the building. What? Surprise! Pono's on the card. He's going up against Dorian Perez, disturbing the peace. The man who loves violence, loves blood. But can he withstand the lean on one? We're about to find out. Everybody give it up for Pono the Hawaiian Assassin. All right, man.
Joe.
So, when did you find out? Because that was fast.
So I knew maybe about 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Ahead of time.
Okay.
So there was some time already that I kind of knew about the fight. It was in the talks, but nothing was really solidified and nothing was sent over. So we're kind of just sitting there and waiting for that. Oh, okay. Well, is it going to be where he has to agree, or is it me agreeing to what it is, right? So because if it's on my end, I agree right now. It's like you're sending me that text message. It sounds good. Let's do this, And now, just yesterday, it just dropped. So it's like it's been a pickup, right? Early morning, and what a better day to drop it is on today, right? On a Sunday.
It's perfect, man. I was joking with your wife, and I was saying that you ever put your phone on Do Not Disturb and then take it off middle of the like mid morning on a Sunday and find out everyone's fighting again? Like, yeah. It was a surprise. But did they give you any? Because the last match definitely went the way you wanted it to against Cooper. Did they give you any inclination kind of shortly after that, or is it all of it happening in the last like 3 weeks?
Yeah, it was the last 3 weeks. Yeah,
okay.
Everything was kind of spread out in the very beginning. They were just that very first talks of there might be a match. We want to see this happen, and then from there it just died for a couple of days, few days, 3-4 days, and then just what. Even just from the power slappers side, like I start to hear little rumbles and little speaks, and I'm like, really? Well, that's what you heard? Oh, okay. And I'm like thinking in my head, it's like, well, until somebody sends me a contract, until I can see it, read it, that's when I say it's a go time, and I'm always gonna agree to the fight off the back. That's one thing about me is that I'm not gonna ever turn something down, especially when with a great opportunity like this against somebody that's a strong striker, very good with the chin. I mean, he has never been knocked out, so it's like one, it's a test for me because I want to see that maybe the lean and maybe the power can actually really do the job. Maybe we can take this person to that point where we can get him down, So it's an amazing opportunity to have, and almost where I have to dial a little bit of it back to where don't want to be too excited, he's number one, and it's like it's just big on me. So I just got to stay focused, stay active, and always just put it behind in my head that as long as we have God on our side, things are going to be good. But yeah, I mean, we didn't find out, and it slowly trickled, and then this I would say last week, that was the really like the go time. Hey, you know what? This looks like this is going to be solid, set in stone. Just be on the lookout. Okay, cool. And then just the other day, right before I got the message Saturday, and then the announcement Sunday saying, "Hey, you know what? You're good to go. You're clear."
That's amazing, man. That's fantastic. Do they? I mean, it kind of seems obvious, but I just want to hear it from you. Is this the number one contender match, or is this the match, or is this the number one contender match to go for the belt? Like, does this establish who's number one, or does this establish who gets the next title shot?
This should establish who gets the next title shot.
Okay. Definitely. Right on, man. You're there.
Sure.
Knocking on that door with Dorian.
Two more. There was only 2 matches, right? So it was either going to be number one, anywhere within that top, 1, 2, 3, whatever it may be, anything above where I am already currently at. That fight, then that we see what happens with. Well, we thought we see what happens with Dorian and DeBell, and see how that rematch kind of plays out, and who's the next stack up, and then it would eventually have led to me getting a match between somebody on the higher ranking and probably be in that position, ranked number 1, ranked number 2, and then DeBell. So it was either going to be in 3 matches or it was going to be in 2 matches. Either
I see. Yeah, I mean, you said it, man. Dorian, like, no one's knocked him out. He seems to he's like our Nate Diaz. He's kind of like a zombie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he totally put that all on display on his last match. I mean, talk about a war, just round after round after round, and no one was going down. And so, do you think that plays a favor to you because it was such a war, or do you think it, at the end of the day, a match is a match? You don't know how it's ultimately going to go.
So let me say this much. Because seeing that he does have that chin, I already kind of know that he already has that chin. Wow, that was amazing. You see that?
I did. I'm looking over.
It just started flickering all out. Okay.
Boy, you better repent and get out of there.
No, well, I gotta stay here for the next couple of days. So because we've seen what it looks like on his half, where the defense, how he's operating out there, the way he's confident about what he's doing, seeing that match between DeBell gives me a good indication of how this match between me and him is gonna go. Just
Okay,
watching
that's
his
fair.
tall tales, the way he moves, the way he acts, his antics, all the way down to his basic bracing, whatever he's doing out there, and just kind of picking up on his cues. That having that be a match that I can kind of review and kind of study, because that's my biggest thing, is that I like to not only just train and always be ready and always be prepared, but also studying video. It's huge for me. I go back through everybody's, not just people in my weight class. I watch everybody's video. I just want to have a well-rounded edge.
I can confirm that, audience. Yeah, I can confirm that.
Yeah,
you're a
right?
studier of the game, bro. You really are.
That's it. Well, you know what it is, Joe, is that I've become just like, even with my gambling thing back in the day in 2020, 2021, I learned the game of Baccarat and I wanted to become very successful at it. And I thought, by having a different type of mind for it, because that's what it is. I like numbers, I like patterns, I like strategies. I love that stuff. Chess is a game. Chess is a game for me. So it's like just having that and then kind of transferring over to PowerSlap is like the same obsession. It's an obsession. I want to learn patterns. I want to learn techniques. I want to see how many different ways you can throw a slap, where the power generates from, all these other things. And I think who said it best was Dwayne Crespo, is that there's a level that you obtain as you start to progress through the sport or any sport, and it becomes where you're just a higher IQ power slapper, higher IQ fighter. If you're in the UFC, you just gain all this knowledge by studying the craft and learning the techniques, watching the bracing, watching other people do stuff. So, I credit it to him by saying that, is that I've become an obsessed person with the sport. I've become that higher IQ where now I just want to study it. I want to learn every single thing you can do out there. I think the best way to put it is, I was just watching the other day The Last Samurai.
Great movie.
So, when they ask him, they say, "Hey, why do you want to go and be there in person and experience all this stuff?" Is like, well, I want to know my opponent. I want to learn my opponent. Is like, you have to be there. You have to understand those things. You have to watch. You have to be observant. Be very vigilant. So, at the end of the day, that's what it is. And I'm obsessed with the game, and I know already that all the hard work, all the dedication, all the training, all that stuff, the physical side of it has already been answered. Going there and really adopting new strategies, new techniques, and even just new training styles. Just that alone has unlocked a whole new part to me, where it's like, well, you know what? If you thought I was deadly before, as I start to unlock all these things, trust and believe that it's gonna be a point where they might not want me on Power Slap anymore because of the
too good.
severity of it. That, well, not being so good, but being dangerous.
Got you.
And people get dangerous when they study the craft over and over and over and over and day in and day out. And I watch other videos. I watch people that are in lower weight classes, in super heavyweight classes. I just watch. I'm a very experienced person, to where it comes down to like being that people watcher. I love that stuff. I love studying something from the beginning to the end and just understanding what are the biomechanics of what it can do, whatever it is, whether it's gambling in the casino and figuring out a way how to beat them, or doing this right here, going on PowerSlap and learning a whole new strategy, a whole new technique, and introducing some things that you create as well. As you guys now know, the lean on one, right? The lean on one nation and all this team of assassins that we're trying to assemble together that really just use that strategy and use that style to better themselves in the fight game, and going out there and delivering the slap.
No, you're right, man. And I would say you're probably the first one to be so vocal about it. And I think that's had a positive effect, in this whole league, because you're starting to hear other people, talk about how they're thinkers out there, right? And not to say those types of personalities didn't exist before. You're not saying that at all. I'm just saying now it seems to be more vocal, but still, even though there's more people being vocal about it and, studying even more, getting to know the whole nuance of everything, it's not everybody. So the people that are doing it like yourself, I mean, at the end of the day, that can only serve you in a positive way.
I agree.
Dude. And so I know I ask this every time, but I just love it. I love it. So you go up there, you do your thing, you kind of know the path already. So does your brain go, I'm not going to ask you the mic question. I'm going to ask you something different. You kind of know the path already. So does your brain think for 2025, this is what I'm going to do? Or are you taking it one match at a time and it will just play out how it's supposed to?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly what it is that
it'll just play out.
Everything, it's because it's already there. Everything already exists in this world. All these little things that are about to happen are already kind of just in that background playing out as we talk about it, as we think about it. It's already happening. And you kind of have to be the catcher in a sense, right? Is that as these things are flying, instead of it where you go and you chasing these things, going out there and, okay, I'm chasing this dream of doing this and becoming the title holder and doing all the other things. No, you got to let these things come at you. They're already there. The title match is already set up. There's going to be some things that are going to happen that are going to transition that to where you're going to have an opportunity to be able to go out there and showcase your skills and be able to do those things. It's already kind of there, right? And then you just got to, as it's coming towards you, you got to make sure that you'll be able to catch those things at those moments and times as you progress through. So I really believe in just letting it be in God's hands. God is the main one in my life. He's literally the beacon of light for me. And so that way, I think he puts that in my life so that way I can be the beacon of light for other people too, and really showcase something different that a lot of people haven't really seen in the sport, and less of the shit talking, more of the work. Put in the hard work, put in the dedication, really becoming a real solid professional out there, going out there and representing yourself in the best way possible. And then also not only just, affecting your life out there on the stage, but life in general, being the best version of yourself and going out there and just being a really good human being and being able to have that for everybody else. So I feel like everything is done through God and he puts it in alignment for whatever you're going to do. And the next step, the next level, the next move, I'm just here in the day. I'm here in the present moment. I just continue to make sure that whatever's going on with me right here and right in front of me stays on that same track and that same path and the same movement. And then as things progress and they move along, things will open up little doors. And those are the little times where you've already planted the seed. So now you can kind of roll with it and just kind of go with the way that the things are already going to be this way. We've talked about this way before about, becoming the number one in this sport, and that was big. When you get into something like this, the only place that you're looking is at the top, right? That's it. I just want to get there. What does it look like? How does it, how long is it going to take? Everybody has those questions, but at the end of the day, you got to shut them out a little bit, because we know that over time, things happen, stuff changes, things shift. And when that shift happens, you just got to be the more prepared warrior, ready to go when it's going to happen and when all those things come in, because sooner or later that thing's it hits you like a brick wall. It's and then if you're not prepared, well, then you're just sitting there kind of wondering like, oh man, well, how am I going to handle this stuff? What do I have to do? And I don't want to be that person. I want to be the guy that's always prepared for anything that's coming.
No, 100%, man. And when you were talking, it really reminded me so your last match, that's literally what you said, right? Like, no call outs, God will take care of it. You know what I mean? Super humble, super. But what's cool about you, man, is you put off this vibe of humility because that is your personality. But it's almost like a mind fuck because you come across that way. But then when you get on the podium, it's like, bro, I can only speak from somebody watching, right? But when we were there watching before, I swear to you, when you went like this, Ali looked at me and goes, "Oh, he's gonna knock him out." And I was like, and that's relevant because even people can maybe feed off of that energy, right? Now, does that mean for sure it's going to be a KO on your end? No. But the point is, what you're putting out, people can feel that, and it hasn't steered you wrong in the slap game anyway.
That's it. It's just like the belief in and there's a higher power and there's a God above. Is that you just got to have a belief in something that you can't see.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
It's not there. It's not in front of you. If you always need something to visualize and be right in front of you, kind of physically right in front of you, then it's going to be hard, right? Because in the end of the day, I mean, as humans, we are our thoughts. We are our mind. You can create a whole reality with your mind, right? The way you live it, how you do it, everything is done in here. So if a lot of people need that visualization and having something very physical right in front of them, and then when you meet somebody that doesn't need that literally closes his eyes and makes things happen, that becomes a dangerous person. You know what I mean? The one that kind of shifts the way of how things work to try to get it to be where you take dream and pull it into reality. But then you start mastering how to pull the dream into reality. And that's a big one for me, is that I had to really shut down all those things of kind of the flesh, things I've been there before. I've done these things before, Joe. I've been in a position where money was my biggest drive, right? I just got to get money, and I need that. I need it, and it's like, we fall short every time because of it's a sin. Like, it's a want and need for something like that makes you drive, and it's in a different way. You're kind of worshiping false idols. And that's, at the end of the day, once you realize that you can do this without worshiping things like that, that's it. You only know there's only one
Clear
way
head.
from there. Clear. You don't need all those things to kind of move around and do all the things that you need to do in your life. You can literally just kind of float right through it because you just understand that those things aren't needed to be the way you need to be able to do whatever you need to do in life. You don't need those things. So I've been really working on this
Yeah,
right
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nothing else. The physical side, it all already comes. Because if I work on my mind, I can tell myself to go to the gym, work out every single time. This is what's needed. This is what you need to do. Get disciplined in it. Get disciplined in it. Mindset changes, right? But the control here and understanding this here is the biggest thing for you, because this is where the dreams become reality. You really pulling it out from a dream, a thought, an idea, and you're putting it into play right here in the real world. That's kind of how I feel like this power slap thing kind of went. We never had thoughts about power slap, what it was going to look like or how it was going to be. I was running gyms at the time. I was doing other things. I had my hand dabbled in. I mean, I have a HVAC certification. I was getting my personal trainer certificate, which I just received this last month.
I saw that. I saw that on Instagram.
I was just doing all these things and trying to dabble into, like, where does my life fit? And not to say that power slap was the calling and saying that was it, but more of, I had to realize what God was trying to tell me inside and what my true purpose was. And my real true purpose was to take all the things that have happened to me in my life, whether it be good, whether it be bad, whatever it may be, and create the book of lessons that I can give to other people. So that way, when they come across and say, oh man, well, you know what? I feel anxiety and stress, and why can't I get this done and all this stuff? Well, here, these are the things that you have to do to make that better. Fix those things, those little moments in time where you feel stressed out and flustered or whatever it may be. We can get rid of those things. And now that's my main calling. Power Slap is good. It's great. I love it. I love the people that are involved with it. I love the promotion itself and everybody that, from the background to the people that, like, just like yourself, and really are dedicated now to, like, really, with the power slappers and everybody else, and you're going out there and you're putting out a story for everybody, right? You're being able to share other people's stories, and then not only that, just like also bring yourself to light too, you know, is by doing what you're doing. So I just feel like that shift is to help others and make sure that everybody can do good in life.
No, I think that's great, man. And I would honestly, I really do think that shows. I mean, anyone who follows this journey that you're in thus far in Power Slap, that come across, man. That comes across. I mean, your stories are inspirational, whether it's just you talking or you're sharing, reels or whatever. So I would say, you're doing what you feel like you need to. It's definitely having a positive effect. Absolutely. Right. We're going to see him March 7th in Vegas again against another killer. And you're doing what you need to do in the best way that you can. And that's putting off, I think the energy that you want to receive as well, which is amazing, man. Dude, Pono, thank you so much for coming on, bro. Like, people who are watching or listening, like, sometimes things just come together really quick, especially, when cards are being announced, or not cards, but fights on the card are being announced days before or a week before. Like, stuff happens kind of fast sometimes. And I just want to say thank you, Pono, for, just being willing with your time and having to do things on the fly sometimes. It means a lot. And everybody, if you're not going, if you haven't bought tickets, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. And if you don't buy tickets and you don't go, what are you doing? Watch it free on Rumble and see what this is all about. But I'm telling you, live is the way to go, people. If you can see it live, see my boy Pono live, it'll change your whole perspective on the sport. It's a fantastic way to have some fun and see people achieve some pretty serious goals.
I agree.
Pono, where can they find you, man, on social media?
I'm all over Facebook, all over Instagram. Instagram handle is the Hawaiian Assassin, DA_Hawaiian_assassin, and all over YouTube now with all the knockouts and everything else that's been going on, and just the story, So you can follow me anywhere.
All right, buddy. Well, hopefully we get to sit down, do this again in Vegas in a couple weeks, and thanks again. We'll let this bitch upload.
Let's go.
All right, buddy.
When are you landing?
No, you're good. We'll get through this real quick, and then we'll start chatting.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the king in the building. What? No. It is the same guy with this going on. He's probably the most recognizable after the match face in all of Power Slap. We got him here today. He's fighting March 7th against Hunter. What's up, baby? Give it up for the outlaw, Angel Mero.
Hey, what up, guys? It's Angel the Outlaw. My face is better. We're back.
We got him. And if you can't tell, fam, it's been a lot of interviews today, a little shaky, but we got our caffeine. We're about to bring the house down. You feel me? We got Angel over here. We got the blue drink here. We got our hearts in our chest right here. Let's go. Let's talk about Power Slap March 7th.
Boom,
baby. Okay. It's the first time we're talking, yes?
Yep.
Okay. So, fam, I want you to know, this isn't planned. We're just doing this for the love. You feel me?
Yeah,
so
sure.
Angel, tell me, did you think it would take this long to have a bigger card scenario for you? Or do you feel like this is right where it needs to be in your career?
So the plans, switched up a little bit. There was, some call-offs. I was supposed to fight, right after in Dubai, but that was, some behind-the-scenes stuff. And
like passport issues, or?
No, I was supposed to fight someone, and then they ended up fighting someone else.
No shit. Who are you supposed to go against?
Eddie.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I know. He ended up fighting AZL in Dubai, and it's cool, whatever. But I got an announcement to make, going off of that.
Give it to us.
So I'm moving down to welterweight. I lost, 20 pounds. I weighed myself right after I got this fight, and I was like, oh shit, I'm 179. So I'm like,
oh, so after this match,
I'm going down to welterweight. Yeah, I'm looking to
does
fight.
That make your? Sorry, does that make your mentality for this fight any different? Are you?
It makes it a lot better, honestly. I'm young. I'm one of the youngest fighters in the organization, so I'm what am I trying hard enough to get at my best position to where I can become champion as soon as possible? And right when I started this, I was just getting off of the couch. I was a boxer. I haven't been doing any of that stuff forever. You know, I just been on the couch watching fights, doing all that stuff, working. But now, you know, right when I got my fight, I weighed myself. I thought about it. Watched. You know, I've been watching the welterweights this whole time. Been thinking about it, but it's happening this next fight. After I already told Erica, it's going down.
Wow. But you think it's helping you focus more on this match because you know you gotta make a statement because you're not going to be in this weight class much longer, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a more than a statement behind what's going on. I got a new slap. I got a new lineup for my defense. I'm a boxer, so I think about this like, you know, just as much as in the boxing aspect as in like I'm a true fan of this. So I'm watching Isaiah and Brandon Bordeaux' fight, their second fight. I'm watching everybody, and I'm really studying everything. There's so much different styles everybody has, and they're all using this, you know, hitting style that people use, and they just got a bunch of things going on, and I'm watching very closely. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna take it down to welterweight, and I'm looking forward to fighting everybody and their cousins, anybody.
Mom, dad, it doesn't matter. Just line them
Don't
up. Line
matter.
them up.
Gender,
Well, so-
race.
Have you had any, like, a getting ready for Hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of tape out there. You know, that's the case for a lot of the guys because the sport is still growing. We're still getting our feet wet, that kind of thing. But do you watch any footage that we do have of him, or are you just focusing on how you do things and just let it play out?
I watch footage. It comes to like analytics and like, you know, like having a jaw, having a good slap, you know, having heart. There's so much to it that just comes naturally, sadly, like, and like you either have it or you don't. And
Well, we can vouch you got the heart, that's for sure, man.
yeah, for sure. And you know, that's like the best thing I hear, the best compliment I hear from people, and like, you know, that's all you need in this game. Like, this is like a man sport, you know. It's definitely a combat, like, fighting sport, but, and, you know, people aren't taking it seriously like they should, but, you know, this is, you either get knocked out or you're, you know, you're lucky you didn't. So it's
a pretty,
you know,
straightforward sport.
straightforward. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
No, dude, you're good. I think that's great, man. And you know, it's been fun the last probably 4 or 5 months because you can tell the sport is growing because guys they're moving weight classes. They're trying to, you know, feel out feel everything out, if you will, see where they belong.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it's fun to just see that, you know, take place. So good for you, man. You've already got a plan in front of you. That's cool.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot more than, you know, I was right when I started. Actually, I haven't told anyone this, but I was like watching PowerSlap with my girlfriend, and like it was like a couple months before season 2 ended, and KO Chris and Manny were about to fight for the coaches championship, you know, and like the Ultimate Fighter or whatever. So right after that, literally the morning after, I signed up, and I got a text back 2 weeks later.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I was on a plane like a month after that, and it was like, I didn't know what to think. I honestly, like when I was like, they told me, you don't even believe what's going on, you know, like until you're in the UFC Apex gym and you're training with all these like pros. It was mind blowing. Yeah, for sure. I was like, I'm a fan of all that stuff, so it was like a dream, for sure.
Do you think, I mean, obviously that experience is crazy, like super fun and positive. Did it distract you in a way though, as far as like, what the hell did I get myself into?
It definitely did. Yeah, like I was mind blown. Like just seeing Dana White and stuff pull up in his Ferrari, like the day of the weigh-ins, like all this stuff. Like there's so much behind the scenes stuff that like no one sees, and it was mind blowing because like I'm like a straight fan, so I know all these places like where it's coming from, and I was there in real life to like capture that moment. And yeah, it definitely like sets you back and like puts you out of body. It's an outer body experience for sure. It's lucid.
Yeah, man, lucid dream. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So March 7th, Power Slap 12. It's going down. You got Hunter. Do do you even care about what's next, given this is the biggest stage that you've been on so far? Or is part of you thinking, okay, finally, now I can get, take care of business here and move on to the next thing, which is, fill in the blank goal?
Yeah, I feel like I got drowned out for a little bit because I didn't make it to round 2. Because me and the Alexander, we beat each other up so bad we sent each other home. So
now, walk through that real quick for people that maybe aren't so familiar. Just the people that are watching or listening that maybe just aren't so familiar with the sport but happen to be, watching or listening right now. Explain to them what went down on that match.
Yeah, so that was a match where like someone was supposed to get knocked out, and neither of us wanted to go down, and we ended up both just fighting till the end. We had a war. I mean, first round, like we felt each other slap. It was good, but at the end of it, we were both just so beat up. He hurt his shoulder. He hurt his, he got a little bit of a hematoma. Like, I got a horrible hematoma.
Oh my God, I was going to say, both of you weren't little. Like, dude, motherfucker, you guys, that was what he's leaving out, audience, is it was a fucking banger, okay? You went in with a normal face. You came out with, a very puffy face, which people, obviously, we're having fun here and laughing and everything. But on a serious note, bro, how much more could you show you were taking it serious more than you could? Do you know what I mean? How much more could you showcase you were taking it serious and having a look like that after a match?
Yeah, so I definitely felt like when you're living in a house with someone for 2 weeks, and then you got to fight them, it's a whole different experience than just a normal fight where you guys meet up in the cage and lock the door behind you. It was crazy. We were friends before, and we were cool. We had, when it was time to get ready to fight, we definitely had our confrontations at the weigh-ins, before the fight. Anytime we looked at each other, we were there for business. So he probably didn't expect me to come out there and fight so hard, and he probably just expected to knock me out. That wasn't my plans. I definitely showed up, and everyone that went in the house, nobody knows each other. They don't know who you are, but that's what you're there for. They're there for you to find out who the fuck you are, who's really here to fight, who's really here to be in PowerSlap, who's really here to become the next champ, and I think that's what I showcase is, I'm serious about this 100%.
And you've just admitted here that it's interesting, because I was about to say you have a natural ability for the sport, right? Which is insane, because you just admitted basically getting off the couch, not taking it too serious, but you still showcased amazing heart, right? So do you feel so much more comfortable or confident maybe? Because now, shit, we are dialing it in. We are doing our technique. We are doing this. And then that's in addition to the heart we've already showcased. Do you have more confidence now, or do you feel a little calmer? It's gotta help you, no?
Yeah. So what I'm doing now is so different than what I was doing before. Everyone came in, half of the people, they didn't even watch PowerSlap, that were competing. Where everyone's talking, everyone's asking all these questions and stuff. I watched it for a month, nonstop, but I still didn't have my slap down. I didn't think about the defense. I didn't think about everything. It's everyone was just planning it off the bat, because the shows and everything is just so new. It's 17 months old. So I was just okay, yeah. I got to figure it out right now, off everything. And from now, what I think about it, I have a completely different mindset about it. I had to come home, sit down, think about it again. I got a whole new slap. I got a whole new defense. I got everything's so different. I'm super excited to show people how much different it is when you can actually put your mind to it for more than just a month in advance of notice. It's crazy.
No, I love that, man. You're basically have been. It sounds as though you've basically just been telling yourself this whole time while you're waiting, hey, now we get another shot to prove ourselves. Let's take it serious and let's show the people who I really am. Not just a guy that can take one, but a guy that can also, come out on top and show that KO power.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. I had a style I was going with before that, it was like a snap of a slap. And I like Terp slap, and like I was like right before I was going to Vegas, I was watching the show, and like Terp was one of my favorite guys, just his energy, the way he comes about it, the way he doesn't care about people's opinions, but he's just a good guy, he's cool. And like his slap, I like that slap, and it was like a snap type of thing, and I got that from him. But I'm going about it like a whole different way with, like new things I've learned and just my own like thought about it. But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm gonna get a round 1 KO in this. And
there we go.
I hope Hunter's bringing the same energy. And I told him right after I found out who I was fighting, yo, like, I hope we have a beer after this, and have fun. Like it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. No, I was talking with Hunter and a few others about this. At least right now in the league. Excuse me.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of animosity, although there's a lot of hype, right? Meaning guys will hype up the fight. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But it's the only sport that I know of, at least now, because as the sport evolves, that might change. But right now, bro, everyone does. They go out and get drinks when it's over, like the after party, all that kind of stuff. They're just hanging, having a good time. Like it really is a good vibe, even though your job is very violent, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely think that's just how most sports are. Is like the more you've learned how to fight and you've been through this your whole life, and you've grown up like that. That it's just life, that it's, the statement's having a beer after, and whoever wins wins. It's not about people's opinions, media, nobody, whoever comes out there and puts on a fight and puts on the show wins, and after that, it's like, that's it.
It's just, as Kobe would say, it's just job finished. Let's go grab a beer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. He didn't say that, people, but he did say job finished. He never said grab a beer.
Yeah.
So, dude, when do you get out to Vegas and start going through the ropes and motions and all that?
So we have I don't know if I'm allowed to say this actually.
You're good. It's up to you. I can edit it out, or if you,
So I don't know if you know about this, but we have a training camp that they just announced a couple days ago. So we're about to be out there on the 27th when we're supposed to fly out there the 3rd. And yeah, I think it's for the newcomers mainly. I don't really know.
Okay.
Because
so they're just having a few days to just well, that sounds pretty straightforward. Just like a training day or two.
Yeah. Just a training
cool,
camp.
man. You're good.
Yeah, a couple days early.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
No, that's good because they're giving you time, because there's a lot of people that maybe have the talent, but they haven't had the experience yet. So it's probably a good idea to have something like that,
Yeah, exactly. I think it's mainly for like the season 3 people, and like there's so much people that are in season 3 in this event, and like
there's a lot.
Yeah, I don't even know if they've done a training camp before this, honestly.
You know what? I don't know. Yeah, I know. You hear rumblings all the time, but you never know what's real. Like I've heard they're, just picking out different strikers to come help newbies, things like that. But but you never know. But it's a good idea, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And I just heard who's going to be the coaches: the Crazy Hawaiian, and then the Wolverine.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Yep.
Yo, that's cool. Do they know
Yeah,
who's going to be blue, who's going to be red?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that part first. Like I was wondering, but the Slap News has been coming out with like the news lately first. And
100%, dude.
Yeah.
I think every slap nerd now, they know where the hub is. Do you know what I'm saying? Slap News is literally what they're called and what they do. They're awesome at it. And I think they're just good at it, man. Everyone knows where to go when they want to see who's fighting next. They can't complain with that.
Yeah, for sure. I've been following them before I even, tried to fight. So, yeah, I thought that was cool. Yeah.
So I learned about Slap News, Petty Corner, Diana, kind of the people that are doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? After my first slap event, which was actually Paige Van Zant's debut, we just went, had a crazy time. Obviously, we enjoyed it. Now we're in the sport. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you just fuck. I don't know where I was going with that shit.
Slap News starting.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I never heard of any of those people, but afterwards, you quickly find out who's having fun with it. You know what I mean? Doing their thing. Slap News always pops up first. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What you got going on, like what I seen last time, I don't know if it was in Dubai or in Saudi Arabia, but the setting you had and everything was super professional, like up in that hotel room with the view and all that.
Yeah.
That was sick.
So Angel, we're actually doing that again, bro. You're gonna have to come out and see us. So
yeah, for sure.
If you're on the card, we're gonna be March 4th at the Circa.
Okay.
And then if you're not on the card, but you still want to get your name out there, say what's up to the audience, whatever, come up March 5th. Because the first time we did it, it was a lot. And it was actually so much we weren't able to, edit everything up and have it out before the fight. So we've streamlined it. We're going to be there again. Definitely come up, say, hello. We'll pump up the match one last time. And then next thing you know, you'll be up at the podium. But no, I appreciate the compliment, man. We're baby steps, but we're having fun doing it.
Yeah, for sure. It's like there's so much to like grasp on and everyone to get their role in too. It's like I don't think like a new sport's happened like this since the UFC, that's been this big. So yeah, it's a lot. It's cool to see in this like day and age.
No, it really is, because it just shows something new can always come along,
Literally, yeah. I didn't expect it to be this, but it's awesome.
And you're freaking a part of it, dude. Like,
I know.
You're officially, no matter where your career goes, you can honestly tell everybody the rest of your life that you were one of the first in PowerSlap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I eventually want to get into boxing and stuff, and everybody's got other plans, But this is like the best stepping stone I could have ever got. I wasn't even, I do construction and stuff. I wasn't even planning to fight again like this before I signed up for PowerSlap. So, but that's been my whole life. Since I was a little kid, I've been boxing and I love fighting, and it's art to me and like all this stuff. So like this is like a dream for me, and it's all come true exactly how I wanted. I literally wanted Terp to be my coach. He ended up being the coach.
Wow.
Like Terp's like, a very like stern guy, and he doesn't have a lot of good things to say about everyone because he's so honest. And I thought it was really cool, like what he had to say after my fight, and I really appreciate it, and it gave me a lot of motivation, and it made me think a lot more about taking this seriously, and it was cool.
No, that's cool. I don't know if you saw my stories the other day, but I was giving Terp a hard time. I was like, where's Terp? Where's Terp? Is he behind my plant? Nope, he's not there. Like, I want to talk to this fool. He's gotten quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't see that a lot from Terp at all.
That's what. So, dude, exactly. He's so vocal and like, he's that guy. And then to not hear anything. I want to talk. I just want to see what's going on. You know what I mean?
It's like a bear in hibernation or something for the winter. Like, like something's going on. He's either stewing something, or he's just trying to get away from the media because, he might need some peace of mind. But whatever's going on, it's definitely, I'm curious for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are because, look, say what you will about the guy. They put him on the show after, I can't remember if it was before or after he missed weight the first time, but
it was after, I think.
Yeah, I think it was after. Yeah. So, but anyway, they put him on the show anyway because look, dude, it's the fight game. You need eyeballs. He's got a personality. He's not shy about it. And then to just all of a sudden not hear anything is, but he'll, when he's ready or not, he'll talk when he wants to talk, I'm sure.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions. I've tried to comment and stuff on Instagram and see what's going on and stuff, but he's busy obviously, so
yeah, we'll have to hit him up with a DM after this, bro. Be like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's get on a meeting. Let's all talk.
I did. Well, hey, back to you, man. We'll talk to Chirp one day. I have no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's almost here, like the event of a lifetime for you. It's a way to put your name on the map, everything like that. Couldn't be more excited for you, my guy. Like, we finally got a chance to link up and talk. Very exciting times. Oh, you know what? Before we go, if you don't mind me asking, do you have a family? Like, I didn't see so much on your Instagram.
Yeah, so I don't post a lot on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's mainly like for my, power slap. But so my dad is like the main parent in my life. My mom, unfortunately, had some problems with, some stuff, and she had to, go her own way. And anyways, yeah, I got my brothers. I got so much family.
Do you actually?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I got the biggest family. Probably hundreds and hundreds of just.
Dude, not hundreds. Like, how many siblings do you have?
Oh yeah, siblings. I got 9 siblings. I got.
Shit, you do have a big family.
Yeah, I got 4 brothers and then 5 sisters.
Dude, the best part about that, you got a big family when you have to pause.
Yeah, literally, I'm thinking about it. I have to count because there's so much different aspects to it.
For what it's worth, man, I grew up Mormon. We all had we were the small family and we had 6. So that gives you an idea. Dude, my wife, she has seven. So 6 sisters, 1 brother. So she had a big family. So you got good company here. We got you, man. You're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited about too, is for my family to see everything. And I got my cousins, sisters. Actually, my sister just messaged me right now and she said, "Are you ready or what?"
That's great.
She literally just messaged you right now. It's awesome. Yeah, it's crazy, and they're definitely surprised and excited to see this fight too, for sure.
Dude, very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on, man. Like, we finally did it. We gotta hook up. We gotta chat.
Yeah, for sure. I know.
Definitely come by and see us in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
Before we go, where can everyone find you on social media and follow this whole journey?
So, Angel's Outlaw, Mero. I
enough.
got the whole spiel in there. It's a little bit long, but yeah, I got YouTube, which is Angel's Outlaw Mero, Instagram, Angel's Outlaw Mero, Facebook, Angel's Outlaw Mero, but I'm venturing more on it. But this event, I'm actually going to start vlogging a little bit more.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I want to try to vlog with Theo Vaughn. I hope he's going to be there because that would be sick.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Yeah, I wish you all the best of luck with everything like that. Like, the guys they're starting to vlog, and some are getting some podcasts, things like that. And dude, I'm all about it. Do your thing. I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, shout out everybody that's doing that. One person that, I see doing a lot, stands out so much from just PowerSlap and Season 3 in general is Luke.
Yeah, Luke does a lot. Wes does a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to misspeak, but I think Nate might have started a YouTube channel a little bit.
Nate Gossett, yeah. I haven't seen that one. I've seen Nate's and, Luke's and Wes's.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it's just cool because the sport's so new. Everything everyone does just only helps it,
Yeah, for sure. I've been waiting, for more people to start vlogging and stuff, and I hope the media, how there's Embedded for the UFC and there's a countdown. Yeah, I hope that there's more stuff like that and they get a name for it and we start doing that every event. That'd be cool.
Dude, I love that you said that because we just did one on Luke. If you go watch Time to Strike, and that was our first
That's the exact one I was talking about.
That was our first rodeo. And it's kind of, not to go too much in the weeds, but there's a lot of logistics and it's kind of expensive to pull off as well. But yeah, that we had good feedback with it. So I think we're going to do, as much as we can, we're going to do more, but yeah, we're trying, we noticed that was missing. So we're trying to fill that void,
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that's awesome. Is that your sister's?
It's my little brother.
Dude, what's up, buddy? What's his name?
His name's Lil Ronnie.
Lil Ronnie.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
No, he's actually at the door. He's always begging to come in and talk to me. I told everyone I got to interview.
Dude, that's so cool.
Go hang out with him right after that.
Well, tell Lil Ronnie I say, what's up, man? I'll let you get back to your fam. Yeah, I'll get back to mine. And I'll hit you up on the DM when I land in Vegas, and we'll do this again.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sounds good. I
All right,
look
man.
forward
Let's let
to
this
it.
bitch upload. 1 sec.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. We'll click go live on the gram. See, everything looks good there. Okay, we're live on the gram. Now let's make sure our chat's all good. Okay, there we go. All right, Dorian, I got you. Yeah.
What's up, family?
Okay, here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the man in the building. He's the voice at the end of Slap Son. Oh, I can't scream like him, but he's here. Forget the blood work. Forget the medicals. Forget the fits. We got the fit. We got the blood work. He's here. He's taking on Pono Pow, baby. The Hawaiian assassin. March 7th, PowerSlap 12. We got him. Dorian disturbing the peace. Perez.
Hell yeah. We smoking Pono Pack all 2025, brother. All
My goodness
2025.
gracious. Hey, so first things first, how's the blood, brother? Did you get checked out? You okay?
Yeah, everything's good. I'm all straight. Just I fought
Good.
at the
You
end
were-
of last year, so they needed to redo all my medicals and shit for the first fight of the year, you know?
Let's check your volume one more time, baby. You kind of went clack, clack, clack.
Hello? Connected? Not connected? What about over here? This is better.
All right, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, is that better?
There we go. Now we can hear you, brother.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, bro.
cool.
We
So, yeah,
got to
we're
go out
kinda-
there and smoke Pono and go right back to a Bell fight, bro. I thought I would get Bell immediately after, but I don't know. I don't know if he said yes. Like, if I was Bell, I probably wouldn't say yes either, right? He underestimated me. I went out there, broke some fucking records, and he wants to come back prepared, you know? So I
Well,
don't
it's
blame
funny,
Bell for not giving me that immediate rematch. I wouldn't either. I would want me weakened as well.
So, dude, do they leave it up to the belt holder?
Well, I don't know. It's not the information that they're going to give me, but these are the things that I can put two and two together for. Like Brennan and Isaiah get an instant rematch. I've seen multiple people get instant rematches when it's that close. Nobody's ever stood against Bell 10 toes and never dropped. I'm the first one. No one's ever wobbled the bell. I'm the first one. And that was a more of a decisive, like, back and forth versus. Sorry, it was more of a back and forth than a decisive victory on Bell's part. So, but, you know, from a business standpoint, if he doesn't want that back to back, why would he take the back to back? They offered me Pono. They gave me a choice, and I said, of course. I just want fights, you know. Give me Pono. That's a fucking
Yeah,
highlight right
100%.
there.
So, was the option for you to take Pono or take a break, and so you took Pono?
Yeah. I could either take a break or take Pono, but I look at it as like I'm a number one contender. I should be able to beat anybody underneath me. So, I mean, give him to me. You know, give me more money, give me more highlights. You know, so it's only ever
well, hey,
beneficial to me. I'm not going to be sitting out and be like, I only want championship fights. I don't even care about a championship fight at this point. Just give me people to fucking kill. You know what I mean?
well, you're hey man, I will say this: you and Pono are the same as far as anytime, anywhere, anybody, right? Dude. So let's talk about DeBell, and then let's get to Pono. So DeBell, everybody was talking about how you really showed up for that match. There was a little bit of like maybe some questions surrounding your chin, things like that. And then after that match, bro, there's no question. You guys put on a war. So how do you feel after doing that? You kind of expressed, you know, you just want to keep going. You want to keep fighting, which is good. But brother, how is the chin? How you feeling? That was a war going into this next one.
That was sick, man. If I wouldn't have fouled, you know, they would have gave it to me. But I don't even want to win like that anyway. Like, I want to be decisive in my wins. So I've just been training to get back to that point, and be able to fucking cross that finish line when I'm there. Training for Bell is like a blanket term for training for everybody else in the heavyweight division. Bell is so well rounded. You can train for Bell and pretty much handle everyone else, except for me. I'm a little different.
You're a firecracker.
I'm just fucking mentally unwell, bro. This is the perfect sport for someone like me, where I'm fucking.
Come on now, but in all the best ways. In all the best ways. Come on now.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fucking psychopath. Just when I'm up there, you know, just when I need it, and I like it, man. I like this fucking sport a lot, and I think I'm right at home where I'm at. So, whatever they want me to defend my number one contender spot, fucking, I'll defend it 3 times. I'll keep on going. So.
Well, I mean, no one can. Shit, man. No one can hate on that. You know what I mean? Like, because it's well within your right to take a minute because you went through a war, but that's not who you are, and you're showing that, which is amazing.
Nah, it's never who I was either. Like if you notice my track record with street beefs, I did 6 fights or 5 fights in 4 months or something like that, or 6 fights in 5 months, something like that. Where it's just every month, back to back to back, I was taking like full boxing matches or MMA matches. So I want to be active, man. I started fighting when I was like 24 or 23. So I didn't have a lot of time. You know, I started training when I was real young, and I didn't end up start competing until I was 23. So I feel like I was out of time to really get my name out there and get my thing, get what I needed to do done. And I did that just by fucking grinding, putting my nose on the fucking stone and grinding it out. But that's how I approach everything, man. I gotta fucking, if I'm good at it, or if I show a little bit of being good at it, I gotta go all the fucking way, go balls deep and commit to it, you know? And that's what I do with PowerSlap. I'm not gonna get to the top and then start changing up my fucking ball game. That's not how the fucking Patriots win Super Bowls. They've been doing the same shit all fucking season, laying it out, you know, Belichicking it up, and fucking that's what I'm doing.
No, dude, I love it, man. I mean, from a fan's perspective, that's what you want to see, right? Like you want active top contenders. You want active champs. You know what I mean? And you never know what's going on in a person's head or, you know, what their strategy may be. But as a fan's perspective, I can tell you, you know, we love it, dude. Stay active, do your thing, show out, show up, all that stuff.
Those are strategy in football too. It's grindhouse football. You get 3 yards at a time, 3 yards at a time, 3 yards at a time. And that's how I feel like I've done my career. It's just fucking, if I'm going 3 yards, it's the hardest fucking 3 yards I've ever gone. And then I'm just ready for the next play, you know?
Yeah, I got shout out to Kuka. He's saying, I feel that, man. He knows
Kuka!
What you're saying. Kuka, what's up? So, Dorian, we get to Vegas. We go through the match. Obviously, your confidence is there. Obviously, your passion's there. Obviously, you want this. If the match goes your way, have you thought about how quick the turnaround might be? Or do you not think about that? Sure. You just want to take care of business and then, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, for sure. I want to do PowerSlap 13. I was cool with sitting out 12 and just doing PowerSlap 13, but when they gave me the offer, I've never said no to an offer. So I'll keep that fucking track record going. But 13 is one of my lucky numbers, man. It's fucking, I got Friday 13s right here, you know?
Dude, I dig it. And shit, who knows? We might end up in Miami for 13. You never know, dude.
That'd be fucking sweet. But I've always had bad luck, man. So I've always looked at it as like, fuck it, just own that shit. You know what I mean? Fuck a luck. I'll fucking make it myself. And it's worked out for me so far.
That's Dorian's next t-shirt. Fuck a luck. I make it myself. That's pretty good, man. I like that line.
Fuck a luck.
Do you watch Severance at all? That show on Apple?
Severance? No, I don't have Apple. I don't support.
Okay, dude. So I'll just tell you, there's a line the guy uses. He says, "I can suck my own fuck," and you do that with luck. You just do that with luck.
The best line I think in cinema, it's a fucking improv line too. It's Arlie Ermy, Gunny Sergeant Arlie Ermy in Full Metal Jacket. He's like, "God damn it, bro! Outstanding! I'll let you come to my house and fuck my sister." Holy, that's the best movie.
I haven't seen that movie in so long, man. That's a deep cut right there for our audience. That's a deep cut.
That's a once a year movie for me, dude. Scarface, Pulp Fiction, and fucking Full Metal Jacket are once a year movies for me.
Dude, that's the party of the night right there. Once a year, you watch all of them back to back, all three back to back?
No. I had to watch it at least once a year. So like throughout the year,
okay.
I'll fucking sit down.
It's not like a Dorian movie party where we start at 6 and end at 1.
No, dude. I don't want anybody over at my house. That's why I'm laughing, because it's like, hell no, I don't want people over at my fucking house. It's my party. It's Dorian. It's party of one, dude.
Dude, I dig it.
Reservoir Dogs. That's Vegas. The other one. Reservoir Dogs. I'm sorry, Mr. White. That's the best fucking movie. When am I in Vegas?
Dude.
The 3rd.
Yeah. The 3rd. Oh, cool. So you'll be able to swing by Circa again. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, well, we'll be at Circa, and then I think they're going to do that little Circa after party, or not after party, Circa pool party thing. Did I tell you about that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw that online. I think I even reposted it. I couldn't make it last time because I can't remember why, but that's on my schedule to go drop by that. It looked like it was a lot of fun, dude.
I was there for 5 minutes last time, and then someone started fucking touching me and crowding me, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot. I don't like people like that. I had to leave.
There wasn't that many people there, was there?
Bro, it was fucking packed, bro. And people were all like, "Oh, Dorian, hey, good luck, man. Fucking good." Oh, shit. Like, I appreciate it. I love the support. But fucking, I don't know, man. I'm really I have touch aversion. So people start fucking coming up and putting their hands on me. I just have to walk away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. So you're getting there on the 3rd. Do you have to cut any, like, how's your weight? Is it on point? How's the diet? Like, are you actually ready to go right now? Like, could you fight tomorrow, or are you going to take some time when you land in Vegas?
Oh, I could fight tomorrow for sure. I'm 275. I always come in at 275 and then cut 10 pounds. I've done it for every fight. The last one I didn't do it for was the Bell fight. But for the Bell, it was just a little bit more cardio and stuff because I was hitting the bag a lot more. I ended up losing more weight than I expected. So I kind of like had to peel off my training on the Bell the last month. But this one is more consistent with what I had been doing. So more powerlifting focus, less focus on the bag, less focus on cardio. So I'm just like big and raw again.
Dude, I love it. So you haven't really, since the last time we spoke, you haven't really changed up your routine. I mean, let's be honest, it worked pretty well last time. So maybe there isn't a reason to.
It's not about my routine though. Like I could feel like I could go play tennis and I'd be fine. You know what I mean? It's more of like my fucking mindset going into it. It's better to fucking go out on your shield. Like I want to die out there, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I should have been born 600 years ago, and I should have had a fucking hammer in my hand, fucking taking out peasants. Like that's where I should have been. So like this shit is just
I don't know, like
way. It's just a way to get
anybody
there.
Could
like, in a way.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You just want to get there, do your thing, and bounce. And if anybody could pull off living back then with a hammer, it would be Dorian Perez. I promise you, if anybody could pull it off, it'd be you. Not me. I'd be crying in the corner, screaming for you to protect me.
I got you, bro. I love it too, cause like I feel like that's Pono too. Pono looks like he fucking 600 years ago would be on a fucking raiding party.
Dude, he'd be a king. He'd be a king.
Hell yeah, he'd be a fucking island king somewhere, dude. That's what I like about this sport. Is like it's full of fucking murderers and killers and fucking, but they're all nice on the outside. It's kind of crazy. Like, oh hey, how you doing? Oh, I don't want to fight, brother. And then you see them in the fucking ring and they're all murderers. I love that. And I was insecure about that coming from Street Beefs from my very first event. I was kind of insecure about that. I was like, fuck, I'm a street fighter. I'm over here standing next to a Muay Thai champion and a fucking boxing champion and this and that. Who the fuck am I? But I had to go figure that out that fucking weekend. I did 2 slap matches back to back, one day after the next. And I was like, fuck, everyone else got knocked out. I'm fine. Fuck, maybe I do belong.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
No, you're right, man. Like, it's so funny because we know what the sport is. Like, it's super direct, it's super violent, it's super, no pun intended, in your face, right? But when you get closer to the quote unquote killers, you really do find out that they're just people, man. They're, for the most part, they're all really nice guys, chill, nice ladies, chill. But the public doesn't always would expect that because of what they're witnessing those people doing. But that's not the truth.
Even just how they look. Like, Devin Schwann looks like the most dangerous person on earth. He looks like a human snake, and he's not. He looks like a viper, doesn't he? He looks like he's got like viper teeth and shit.
Dude, he looks intense.
That guy is the nicest, coolest fucking dude on earth. You know, and you don't fucking bare knuckle fight him, obviously. But other than that, he's the coolest dude on earth.
Yeah, you don't want to go toe to toe with the man, knuckle to knuckle with the man.
Oh no.
But you might want to grab a drink with the man.
Absolutely.
Dude, I love it. So, man, hold on, we gotta pin this one. Yo, Anthony Blackburn's in the building. I see you, Nate.
What's up, buddy?
Sean Kilmartin. There's rumors we're gonna high five in Vegas. What's up, dude?
Sean Kilmartin.
Okay, Dorian.
Yo.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
What is your favorite cowboy hat to wear?
My dad got me a Stetson like 16, 17 years ago. That's the one I usually wear.
Ooh, those are nice.
Yeah, it's a Stetson X. So it's still like in the range of affordability. But when you buy a cowboy hat, it's kind of like a little investment. Like that thing is going to be with me till I fucking die. It'll last that long, you know.
No,
this one,
the
one that I'm wearing is actually from a Mexican company. I don't remember which one it is. My girlfriend bought it for me for Christmas. I can't read that. It's in cursive, dude. Someone slapped the cursive reading out of my fucking head. I can't read it anymore. No,
dude,
but this one's from a Mexican company. It was like more affordable than the Stetson 3X. So this is a good alternative. My Stetson 3X, I've used it for everything, so it's not a formal hat anymore. It's more of a camping fishing type of hat. This would be my formal hat now. I put a little
Dude, I
flower
love it.
for
It looks
Pono right
good.
there.
I got a little Hawaiian spirit on your head.
Hell yeah, dude. I love Hawaiians and some like fucking Polynesians in general. I grew up with them, so those are my boys. My main wrestling partner in high school was a Samoan guy. Just kicked my ass every single fucking day, so I'm used to it.
Those are big boys.
Fucking insane. I was 220. He was
They breed them
heavyweight.
differently out there in the islands, man.
Fuck, I don't know what they're giving him, brother. I don't know what they're giving him,
So
brother. But it's working.
I don't either, man. But hey, obviously your energy's on point. You're looking good. You're feeling good. The excitement's there. Brother, I can't wait to see you, man. It's coming down the pipeline again, and we're going to be there. You're going to put on the show. Like, I'm just excited. Don't you feel it?
Feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. And I've been waiting for this moment for all so long. So long. Hell yeah,
Beautiful,
dude. So long
beautiful.
to Pono, dude. It's fucking so sad when you gotta knock out somebody so nice. It's gonna be all like fucking praise Jesus and then be fucking sleeping. It's a sad world. It's a cold world.
You just got to handle business. I hope, man, when Pono watches this, I wish I could be there when I can see his face when he watches this. He's a nice guy, but I got to knock him out. He's a nice guy.
He's gonna be so fucking confused on how to feel.
Well, dude, thank you so much for jumping on. I know we tried to do this over the course of a few days, but, you know, and behind the scenes shit was going on, but we pulled it off, brother. You're going to be part of this week's episode dropping on Thursday with a gang of people. Where can everyone find you on social media, man?
Disturbing _the_ peace 57. That's my Instagram. That's where I post everything fight related. Other than that, don't find me. Fuck off. You can't have my LinkedIn. I don't want it. Find my Instagram. That's where I post everything.
Okay, yeah. Instagram. He's active on Instagram, people. Yeah, no LinkedIn, no cell phone number. Just follow his social media handle. Watch his journey, and it's coming down.
Honestly,
his weight's on point.
You got a better chance of getting a hold of me through my Instagram rather than my number. Something about my phone gives me anxiety. I'm like, I don't want to fucking answer it.
You know what? I don't think you're alone, dude. I don't think you're alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say your weight's on point. Your energy's there. I can't wait to see it. And brother, thank you so much. And we'll let this bitch upload.
See you guys later, man. Have a good one. March 7th.
Okay, one sec, bro.
Let's fucking go.
March 7th. Let's do this. All right, everybody. Welcome to Slap Son. We got the man in the building. If you turn away, you might be gay. I don't know. He's coming for the chin again. He's defending his belt twice. Vegas wasn't enough in December. Vegas got to go again in March. You know what I'm saying? He is so fit. He's ready to go. Everybody, give it up for Isaiah, the Puerto Rican pretty boy. Quixote.
What's up, y'all? How you guys doing?
Yeah. All right. Defended it once. Now we're doing it twice. And I got to say, I love the back and forth you guys are having on social media. And you're really paying attention to it.
Oh, absolutely. My biggest thing was, you guys know me from, day one. I've always been the type of person, I don't go back and forth. I don't talk mess over social media, this and that. But at some point, you just break down. It's like, all right, bro, like, it's time to respond. It's time to say something, dog. Like, you definitely feel like you got me on the last one. And, you think you have the confidence for this one, which is awesome. I'm glad you have confidence, but I promise my chin is strong. I'm strong. And just because you're posting you're in the gym every day doesn't mean I'm not in the gym every day.
Well, no, that's facts. Let's talk about it, man. You got some abs, man. You're going at it every day. How's that? Is it a new diet? What are you doing?
Oh, the only reason I weighed what I weighed out in Saudi, I weighed 210 in Saudi.
No shit.
210, dog. So I enjoyed the holidays. After December 7th, I did what people don't understand is I did a whole year straight of just power slap. I did 4 events last year.
You were an active striker. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I did 4 events last year, and it was like I did one after another, and then there was like no time to enjoy. I was straight right back to camp right after my match, I would have like a weekend where I had a little bit of fun, had some, good dirty meals, and all of a sudden it's back into camp again, back on my diet, back to eating strict. So after December 6th, I was like, all right, it's time to eat. It's time to enjoy. Of course, holidays are there. I ate all the Puerto Rican rice I could eat.
Oh,
I ate all the pork chops I could eat. I ate everything in sight, honestly.
man. Well, no one's going to argue that that was the right decision. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was the way to go. When you're looking at like Brandon's stories and you're seeing like the one that sticks out in my head that I wanted to ask you about, because he posted it a couple of times, was the countdown thing, bro. So going all the way up to 10. Have you seen that? And if so, what are your thoughts on that? Because it's not up to a counter, it's up to a ref.
Exactly. That's a big difference. It's not off of a stopwatch. You go to any boxing match in the entire world, you go to any UFC match, you go to any type of 10 count, it starts once you hit the butt, and it doesn't even start with the ref that's on stage, and they even go over this. Mark Smith goes over this in our rules meetings. They look off the stage, and there's a ref off stage who already has the count going from 1. So that's why whenever the ref looks at the ref off stage, so Jason, what he did, Jason Herzog looked at the ref off stage, and that's when he started 3, 4, 5, because he gets it from the other ref.
Got it.
And if you look, and like I said, if you look, yeah, he said it was 10 seconds, yeah, off of a stopwatch, but it, like you said, it goes off the refs, and we hear that in the rules meetings.
So even before, so it feels as though it's just a tactic to push your buttons.
It is. I think so. It is. And it's like my biggest thing too is like I get the whole, hey, you know, Dana White went up on stage and told him like, hey, that was a bad stoppage, this and that. But then when you go back and look at it, but then like I got Dana White telling me at the after party, like, hey, like that's why you're champion. He's like, you had the experience to recover better. He was like, you recovered better, and that's why you still have the belt. And I was like, absolutely. So it's like that's the big thing. And then when you look at his no, it was similar to mine against Russell at PowerSlap 1. When I got up, I was a little wobbly.
Yeah.
I was a little wobbly. And if you look at his from different angles, yeah, the angle that it shows on PowerSlap, it looks bad. But, you know, from our boys who are in the audience and from other angles from social media people, you can still see when he's walking towards Jason, he's still a little wobbly and glossy-eyed. And they tell us that in the rules meetings, like, hey, if we look at you in the eye and you're like all over the place still, we're going to call it.
Yeah, it makes it such a fun match coming up because, like, everything you're saying, I feel like is valid. And then from his perspective, he's thinking, no, what I'm saying is valid. And the best way to find out is just to have the showdown. And do you feel like he's going to bring anything different at all? Or he feels like he did it right, he got cheated? Does that make sense?
I don't think he's going to change up. I think he's going to continue to do what he was doing. But there are some things that I need to bring up because, like I said, I'm an OG. I've been in this for a while. I know the rules. I don't agree with certain ways that I was hit, but that and specifically going back to our rules meeting says, you know, they talk about where you're supposed to hit. And watching my boy's interview yesterday on the news, and he's saying he's aiming for the bottom of the chin. That's strictly not in the rules. In the rules, it's literally from here inside this area on the cheek. So you can't be targeting the bottom of the chin. So, I mean,
that's fascinating, man. So are they, speaking of the rules, there's been dude, you know better than anybody, but there's been a lot of chatter about the rules since about November. Like what's a club, what's a step, what's all this stuff. Yeah. Do you think overall though it is getting better?
Oh, it's gotten way better. I mean, you could watch myself and Brandon coaching the last matches. There was maybe 4 fouls, I think 4. And it was like, they were like minor fouls, nothing crazy, like, except for the one club, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad. Like, you could tell it's getting a lot better. And then, I mean, Russell brought up something in the rules meeting that was awesome about tucking the chins. And, you know, a lot of people were tucking their chins and they're like, hey, bro, you can't do that. So there's a lot of back and forth about that stuff. But, I mean, all in all, I mean, Brandon is good. I'm not going to say he's not good. We know that. I mean, there's a reason why me and him are going against each other again. And I've always said it. The only person that's going to dethrone me is another me. And, I mean, he's pretty close. He's not me yet, but he's pretty close.
Do you feel, man, that's so funny. I'm just excited. I'm just thinking about what's going to go down in March. I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait to go watch that. Everybody, if you haven't bought tickets, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? We've already established you're crazy if you haven't bought tickets to this event. So Brandon is the focus. and he has been for months now, right? Like he's your guy that you got to just prove it out again.
Yep.
With the shakeup in some of the weight classes, people moving divisions, things like that, the match goes your way. Do you feel like you want to pursue like a double champ type thing, or you want to clean house in your division and then maybe reassess?
I mean, the way they're doing these matches, it looks like they're trying to bring some people up to go against me eventually. I think I might be on hold for one match. Of course, April match, if there's an April match or whatever the next match is. But I'll probably be on hold for one match, and then I'll probably be on the next card again. But my biggest thing is I want to defend the title multiple times in middleweight before I make that move up to light heavyweight. And I want Russell to have the belt in light heavyweight. Me and him talked about it in Saudi. He gets the belt in light heavyweight, we have our rematch.
Dude, that would be awesome. That'd be baller. When do you feel like that move is appropriate? Like, I know you just said maybe you'll be on hold for one match, then do another one. Do you want to go through all of 25 in this weight division? Or is it really just going to be like, you kind of just, your gut tells you, hey, it's time?
I want to go through all of 25. I want to have the most title defenses in PowerSlap. So I want to have the most. So I want to beat that record first before I make that move.
Dude, I love that, man. It's kind of cool, right? Because you're so, I mean, you and Crazy and a few other guys, you've been in this slap game for a while. But to us newbies that are just becoming slap nerds, it's kind of cool that you're the beginning of this bigger show, this bigger production. Because you can legit pave the way and make some marks like now.
Yeah, that's my goal. My goal is to continue doing what I'm doing, make a name for myself, build my brand, and then come back and be, the Joe Rogan or the Bisbing or, of PowerSlap. And now I'm, once I'm done with doing this, like that's my goal, is to end up still being part of PowerSlap, but in another area.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, if you think back to like the early UFC days with like Forrest Griffin, Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, they kind of had him on this retirement plan before they went public. But dude, I love that because they were taking care of those boys in the UFC. You know what I mean? Under the radar. And I'm positive they'll do the same thing with the OGs in PowerSlap.
Yeah. I think they will. And then especially with, like I said, having the guys, I had multiple guys reach out to me and tell me, my coaching was awesome just because, listening to me and taking some of my advice, like, taking the, giving them little tweaks to do on stage from like the mishaps and stuff. I don't know if the Chief will back me up with this, but when the Chief, clubbed him, and I was like, bro, take a step back. I was like, and you'll be right on point. And of course, he took that step back, and then it was perfect.
Yeah, look what happened. Do you think they'll ever allow strikers to bring their own corner of, so to speak, corner with them, or is it always going to be the coaches, do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they will or not. But, maybe eventually, this thing is growing. It's getting humongous. We're not at a stage right now where we need coaches, like that. It's like it's cool to have our cornerman wipe our face and, the other strikers that are coaching us up a little bit. That's cool right now. That's all we need right now. But eventually, like when we get way bigger and we got 20
T-Mobile Arena. Yeah.
So that's when we'll need it.
No, I think you're right. Like for now, it's good, but as the sport grows, it's going to be fun to see what they end up, ultimately doing. So speaking of your brand, how's it going with the tequila scene, man? You still doing that?
Fantastic.
It looks fun, bro. It looks fun.
We're putting on a little event at Circa. Slap News is putting on an event at Circa.
Yeah.
So they're gonna come to that. You got to speak to them. It's just growing. I got some videos coming up that I'm gonna put out for them. But they have Nitro Circus coming up that they're gonna end up going to. They got a lot of events, and still to this day, I'll go to the restaurants. Like I brought to my buddy's steakhouse out here where I live, I brought him a bottle. And he was like, we got to get some cases in here. I was like, absolutely. Yeah. I said it perfectly in my post last night. Like Dios Azul tequila is like luxury without the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
it's real. And, I think, I can't remember if it was you or Robert who said it, but it's like, look, are you going to get something that tastes like the $80 shot and pay half, or are you going to get the $8 shot and not be as impressed? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's I love the angle.
Yeah, and I've had freaking Clase Azul $200 shots. I've had all that stuff, and I was like, once I had this, I was like, dang. I was like, and even before we even talked about the whole sponsorship thing and all that, I was just there tasting it, and I was like, this is fire. Like, I love it. So
Yeah, man. Well, it's cool too because, look, I don't know if any athlete or fighter would admit it, but I guarantee they sometimes they take what's given to them and they're not really into it. And it's fun to see, a fighter and a brand actually like have a good marriage about it. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Like
absolutely.
you're both excited about it.
Oh, I'm excited about it, and it's like, to me, it's like I'm excited about it, but at the same time, it's like you just said, fighters or whatever will take whatever brand. My thing is I just don't want to disappoint them. You know what I mean? I want to keep promoting them, and I want to keep, because one, like you just said, I actually love this, this brand. I love the tequila. I love what they're about. When I hung out with them, I loved how cohesive everybody was. So my thing is like, I just want to come up with the best ideas to help promote. I want to keep doing, like, we got some plans coming up where I'm going to do some bottle signings or card signings,
Oh, hell yeah.
some events. Like, we could do a tacos and tequila festival or something in San Diego, and I could
Dude,
sign bottles.
that'd be awesome. I'd show up for that shit. That'd be
So
cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. And it's like, I have, other brands I'm trying to work and get, like, for clothing and stuff like that. And yeah, just trying to build, man.
I love it. It's funny. You wouldn't think this is the case because we have some big personalities in the sport for sure. But dude, there's a lot of guys that don't understand this is the time to build up whatever you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's so smart that you I mean, shit, man, that you just fucking recognize it. And so when you attain these goals and you achieve these things, you have something going on in the background as well. It's super smart.
No, absolutely. That's why my biggest thing was crawl before I run, or even crawl before I walk. It's like, I got to slowly build that brand up. Yeah, I'm like, of course, like, I mean, people see, like, I haven't posted that much. I still post, but I don't post as much as I can or I need to. But obviously we're at a point where it's like I'm working a real full-time job and doing this and training and still trying to build my brands. So there is a lot going on, but little by little, I'm, picking it up. I'm doing it the right way. And you can't just jump into something, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to build it the right way. And honestly, Andrew said it best on Slap News post today about all these guys, getting managers and this and that. It's like, I get it. Like, it sounds good at first, but it's like, we don't need it yet.
Yeah.
We're not at that point.
No, it's interesting, right? Because, I was talking to Charlie a little bit, who, Lord of War guy. He's got his own management company going and things like that. And, another one's popped up with Pono's wife. And you're right. They're starting to kind of like pop up here and there. But dude, and I don't know what the right way to say this, so I hope this comes across, with a positivity. But like, there's some strikers that they don't know what they're doing. They're just yeah. And so these guys show up with a little bit of flash and a contract and this and that. And quite frankly, I hope they do well by them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and it's like, that's my biggest thing, is like, that's why I've told companies like Jazzercise no. I've told other companies no, because I'm like, Jazzercise reached out to me after PowerSlap 1, before all these new guys came in. Yeah, before all these guys were doing, like, oh, hey, I got sponsorship with Jazzercise and this and that. It's like, I've been doing this. I was doing Jazzercise before PowerSlap. And my thing is they offered me, like, oh, you could get a code, you could get commission, this and that. I'm like, listen,
affiliate shit.
like, now, like, yes, we're at the beginning, but now we're at a point where it's like, yes, our brand is growing, like PowerSlap is growing and stuff. And, we're starting to make a little more money here. We're starting to do, like, we're not at the point where we need managers yet, but we are at the point where it's like, hey, I'm cool with doing a link or whatever like that, but you need to give me, like, 3, 4, 5,000 up front. And, it's like, and then I'll do the commission thing. That's cool. But we're at a point where we're professional athletes now. Now it's like, give me some money and then I'll put the link, and get, it doesn't even have to be that much. It could be $2,000, $1,000, whatever, something.
You just want more than a promise and a link.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
man.
because they're kind of, those companies are kind of taking advantage of that too. It's like, you guys got, hundreds of thousands of followers, people who are still building. Like, I'm barely at what, like 7,500 followers or something now. It's like, I'm still building and I'm doing it the right way. I'm not buying followers. I'm not, doing this and that. I'm getting real authentic followers. And these companies are reaching out, knowing they can try to take advantage, thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna be happy for free stuff." Listen, dog, I make enough money I can buy my own shit. I don't need free stuff like it's opportunity. Sorry,
No, you're good. You're
it's
good.
cool if people give us the opportunity to do stuff like that. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
I think your approach is yeah, you know what? I think your approach is right. I think what happens is, again, a lot of these guys, it's their first like attention, you know what I mean? And they're
yeah.
breaking out and they're doing their thing. So when they come and approach them, it is just so exciting and so new and so this and so that. So they just say yes, where you're taking the angle of like, look, cool, appreciate it, but we'll keep it coming and we'll talk.
But and not just that is yeah, it sounds like somebody just wants money, but no, it's the fact that they're investing their time in me. I'm wanting to push and help them even more. And I take that to heart. You know what I mean? Just like Dios Azul. I take it to heart and I want to do everything I can. Like if I don't post something one day or 1 week about them, I feel bad. That's why I post as much as I can about them. Because it's like they don't even ask me to do all that. I just post as much as I can to try to help them out, and to try to get it out there because it just takes one post to go and blow up.
No, 100%, especially in social media. Like you just got to be consistent and hope something, catches fire eventually, which the odds are that it will, especially, I mean, bro, you're the champ, defending it once, about to defend it twice. You're becoming the more bigger name in the sport. We've got Crazy, we've got you, we've got some outliers and like Dumpling, things like that. But no, man, I think your approach is great because eventually it's going to be that status and they're going to have to come back and be like, all right, let's talk.
Absolutely.
Are they going to be doing? Sorry, man. I was just going to say, are they doing any more cool reels like last time, like at the Fontaine Blue and things like that? The whole James
I don't know.
Bond shit.
They told me about that last minute, so I don't know. Maybe
Okay,
we might
maybe.
be doing some. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
they haven't told me anything.
When do you fly out to go to Nevada?
Sunday. I don't know, man. With all these plane crashes and stuff, I might be driving.
God, dude.
I might be driving, dog. I don't know.
Dude, I kid you not. Like, I mean, you're around planes all the time. And so, like, my brother-in-law, like I said, he flew Cobra for the Marines. So he's around them all the time. And the only thing that calmed me down, my fear of flying after 9/11, this is real, dude. The only thing that calmed me down, because every time I get on a plane, I just think 9/11, 9/11, you know what I mean? Just not healthy, is I took flying lessons for a month.
Yeah.
And once I understood it, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We're freaking out for no reason. But I hear you, man. There's one after another one lately.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
We'll see what happens, but I'll be there Sunday, if anything.
Okay, very cool. Well, man, it's coming so quick. There's so much excitement behind it. Like, are you just ready to pop? Like, you just ready to go? Like, let's do this.
I'm ready to solidify my win. I know his thought is the same thing. He wants to go in and he wants to solidify a win. I know I want to go in and solidify a win. So both of us are going to go in there. It's going to be an amazing match, and the crowd's going to go crazy.
Well, I can't argue with that. Everybody, follow this man's journey. He's the guy right now. He's the champ. He's got a target on his back, and he's going to prove that that target is worthy in March. Isaiah, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's let this bitch upload. All right, that's the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share, and if you actually share, like, and subscribe, you're going to be a better person. So, you're welcome.